Stop tour of South Germany from Augsburg to Stuttgart and then Ulm. A knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25 though. Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart youth setup in 2000, hired by none other than Ralf Rangnick. Under Tuchel's stewardship, the club's under-19s won their league title in 2005. But Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract, feeling Tuchel had an abrasive personality. He went on to manage Augsburg's second team before spending 5 years at the helm at Mainz. He then followed in Jurgen Klopp's footsteps and moved from Mainz to Dortmund. Here, Tuchel secured his first major silverware, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more major trophies came next for Tuchel in just 5 glorious seasons. He won 2 Ligue 1 titles and a pair of domestic cups as PSG boss. At Chelsea, he famously lifted the Champions League as well as a Super Cup and a Club World Cup, and he also bagged a Bundesliga at Bayern Munich. And then, 4 months after leaving Bayern, Tuchel was unveiled as England's new manager.
I always wanted to come back to England. That was my big goal. I have the best memories of the country, of the league and of the players, the attitude towards the game, the attitudes from the supporters.
Well, here's hoping Tuchel can finally drag England over the line at a major tournament.
Really, Charlie? Are they giving this on Sunday as well?
Again on Sunday. I mean, we don't even normally do
Sundays. I know
I don't normally do Sundays. And I've heard it's a lot more relaxed. You can sort of phone it in on a Sunday, from what I hear. So you don't really have to do a lot. Except, did you watch the football? Yeah, I watched it.
What did you think of it? It was fine.
Yeah, it's fine. You know? Yeah, he's got some goals and some people didn't.
But really, we do need to. The question is, if we're going into all, because lots of commentaries today, right? And so sometimes on the Saturday you do that sort of loud bit. I don't really go along with it.
People call it the go get it.
Yeah, I don't really go along with it, but I kind of understand that it's got a place. But there's no way we would do that on a Sunday.
You can't do that on a Sunday because everyone's like, also everyone's been up all night, so everyone has become nocturnal.
Yeah. But if we are going to do it, we've got to do it properly. So this is a big dilemma for this show through the World Cup, because you're sitting in for Barry, because Barry's asleep 15 yards away from me.
Yeah.
We didn't wake him last night. It's exciting. But we can't get into the show and this sort of stuff.
If people are watching on YouTube as well, we're in your bedroom, in Max Rushden's bedroom with
which
him.
I normally just keep for the paid subscription models, actually. I've switched the camera around, so I'm not uploading. We can't start the show, Charlie.
Should we knock it on the head? Who's on after? Oh, okay, let's do it.
Oh, okay, here we go. On a Sunday, people won't be
Sunday
expecting
go get it. There's going to be
Sunday
complaints.
ultras will be absolutely furious.
They'll say this is my fault as well, and this has nothing to do with me. We wanted to go get it.
He demanded he do this, otherwise he said, I won't do Sundays. That's what he said. Here we go, everybody. A Sunday go get it for you.
Slightly more relaxed.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the world's biggest sports radio station. It's talkSPORT. My name is Max Rushden. Alongside me, Charlie Baker, not Barry Glendenning, for the Sunday OG warm-up. And Charlie, this is just any warm-up.
This is the warm-up, Max, on Sunday, the 14th of June, 2026. And at 2 o'clock,
yes.
I know, that's an old one. There we are. That's gone. There we are. At 18 o'clock, it's Germany v Curacao in the 2026 World Cup. It's live on talkSPORT, presented by Hugh Woozencroft. Commentary from Nigel Love to Nigel Adderley and former England defender Martin Keown, the Obi producer. Oh, it's Nigel Adderley. Adelaide, Adelaide, Adelaide. Go get it! And then at 21 o'clock, it's Netherlands v Japan in the 2026. It's live on talkSPORT, presented by Forget It. The best in the business.
Forget about
The best we got. Adrian Durham, commentary from Jim, Torquay United Proudfoot, and former England captain Stuart, Psycho Pierce, the Obi producer. Oh, it's Declan McCarthy. La da da da
da la da
da da da
da la da
da da dum diddlum diddlum diddla da da. Go get it! And then at 0 o'clock, it's Ivory Coast v Ecuador in the 2026 World Cup. It's on talkSPORT. It's presented by Ben Fletcher. Commentary from Flo Pollock and former England defender Mickey Gray, the Obi producer. Oh, it's Flo Pollock. Orinoco, go get it! And then at 3 o'clock, it's Sweden v Tunisia in the 2026 World Cup. It's live on talkSPORT. It's presented by Ben Fletcher, commentary from Mark Willie Wilson, and former Arsenal winger Perry the Labrat Groves, the Obi producer. Oh, it's Mark Wilson.
Say goodbye.
Till then, baby. Don't you know? Don't you know? Don't you know? Things are going your way. So hold on for one more day. Hold on. It's too much for a Sunday, but go get it. It's big ticket live World Cup action you can't afford to miss.
Becky in Scotland says, thank goodness for the Go Get It's. Have a great show, lads. Go get it.
Go get it. It's a lot. It did feel a lot on a Sunday. I feel like it needed to be a little bit more sort of...
We all love football here, but if you are in the UK at the moment, 3 a.m. for Sweden, Tunisia on a Monday morning, that is, before work, that is real commitment. There was a great tweet. Seb Hutchinson, the ITV commentator, who I think is brilliant, was doing a South Korea. Who did South Korea beat? I forget now. And was talking about diags. Like they got onto that conversation talking about diagonal balls and diags, and someone tweeted going, "It's 3:22 in the UK. I don't think there are any." I don't think you need to get into diag, brother.
You're quite into your nocturnal life, aren't you, Max? But it is quite a thing. I got up at 2:30 to watch a bit of the end of the first half of Scotland, and then the second half of Scotland. But also had
you roll into the
also
basketball.
had the New York Knicks on my phone,
and then into the Socceroos.
And then I rolled in out the end of Scotland into the Knicks winning the championship, which was absolutely amazing, and I'm thrilled about it. We'll talk about it later on. But I think the country is going to be in the state of delirium by about Wednesday.
I mean, there'll be some bleary-eyed Scots, won't there? Because there's a difference between the games where you're invested or the games where you might go out, and the games when you're just kind of lying on the sofa going, maybe I should just... I mean, you almost should just watch the second half, because the way it works is, because I'm in Australia a lot, and sometimes, like, quite often I will wait and then I'll watch Match of the Day in the morning, or I will watch the game back. But if it's a huge game, you think, I've got to watch the FA Cup final live with everybody else. Mm-hmm. There is a moment where you're like, oh, well, I've got to watch the first half, because that's, what if I miss something? But then you think I should have just watched the second half.
Yes,
there's a lot of mentally just kind of building yourself for it, and just, you grit in, because once you're in, but the difficulty is it sort of lulls you, because sometimes the game will kick off at like 11 p.m, which isn't too late.
That's quite good.
But if it starts at 11, it's not going to finish till 1, and that is late, and you know that.
Really late,
but you also, but what is fun, as we had a little pre-show meeting, and you're sitting in a little office. Am I, just out of interest, am I whispering more? What was the same volume level?
Today? No, you're whispering more today than you were yesterday, but it is Sunday, so it is fits
Sunday
with the vibe.
But do you know why that is? Is because I've switched because I look like a floating head from the Bohemian Rhapsody video. I've moved the camera around, and so now I feel like I'm closer to Barry's bed. I am closer by about a yard. So
you do look a little bit like you're presenting a sort of documentary on a hotel room bed where there's been a couple of murders.
Do you think so?
But I'm not sure if that's true or not. But
this text says, "Dear Max and Charlie, I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed yesterday's show, which I watched for the first time on YouTube after hearing Max was appearing as a floating head due to keeping the lights in the flat off to let Barry sleep. Seeing Max's childish face when he was finger dancing to the OB producer songs was truly life affirming. It was like seeing a toddler playing with his favourite toy when no one is watching. I'm watching again today. Keep up the average work. Pete in Whitley Bay.
Thanks,
Please
Pete.
never play Enya again.
Oh,
sorry,
no,
Pete, I've moved it around. I'm not a floating head. But anyway, we were saying, because it's weird timings, we were doing the meeting, you're in this little meeting room, Mickey Gray's just asleep, you just pan the camera around and Mickey Gray's asleep on the sofa.
Exactly. People are just asleep throughout the talkSPORT offices.
So I've got two of these stories. One is I came in to do the breakfast show one morning and no one could find, it was me and Danny Murphy were doing breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
And, when it gets to 5 to 6, that's when you start looking for the co-host. That's the sort of general vibe. No one knew where Danny Murphy was. And then they went in, this is in the old building. There was like a little second studio that was quite dark. Someone just opened that and he was in a little sleeping bag because he'd done Match of the Day and then just got driven down and then just got in for like 3 hours. So he was just like in a little sleeping bag with a little pillow. And then there was one where me and Barry walked out of the studio. I think it was after a Sunday show, and there was like an old Jag.
Oh yeah.
And there was like someone with a little straw hat over his eyes. And we were like, that looks like Terry Groves. It's been thrown out of home. And he was just having a little
straw hat in a big old Jag.
So I think it was in a straw hat. So anyway, we will do Footballers You've Seen Asleep.
Very nice. Yes.
Is that a risky? Is that a risky?
It's slightly risky, but footballers have to take account of their own actions.
Sleep. We all need to sleep, don't we? So there we are.
Everyone's
so if you've seen a footballer asleep, 8:10:89.
What's your technique, Max? I have to get when the alarm goes off, alarm off and up. Up and then cup of tea, and then settle in to watch whatever you're watching. You can't go half measures.
Yeah, I understand. If you're interested, so I did the podcast with Barry. That finished about 9 p.m. LA time. I walked back, sort of watched a bit of the Australia game. Then I did sleep from 10 till 1:30 in the morning and got up for this. So in terms of my volume, maybe I'll get louder. Nick Alloa, Mon Scotland, says, Max just sounds creepy. Sorry, creepier. No,
he says. No. You don't sound. Got a touch of the old smug Sunday, guys. That's all it is, Max.
Yeah. No, there is totally. But, there is, like I'm as we said yesterday, channeling my inner... brilliant Bob Harris. That's what's happening.
That's what it is. Yeah, really great.
Trying to get a Radio 2 gig. Look, I can do that. Anyway, so if you've ever seen a footballer asleep, and within reason, please, everybody. 8:10:89. We will do some Scotland next. They beat Haiti 1-0. Is it brilliant? The 5th World Cup win ever? Should we all be bouncing off the walls, or should we look at that group and go, you might need a better goal difference to get through in 3rd place? We will find out. Barca Jim will join us in just a second.
Locking on back in the UK, of course, and we're right across the lot. We mentioned earlier that Martin O'Neill has been installed at Celtic. Just in the passing, you pleased for him? 1-year deal, Simon?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think Martin, the only person that would have talked him out of that circumstance is Martin. So I think probably Martin would do a 1 with a rolling year.
Yeah.
So that puts him in a situation where you can see how he feels in a year's time. I don't even know why it was a conversation. I don't even know why it was a debate about whether Martin O'Neill should stay in place. I think it's the least they could have offered him. I hope they've remunerated him properly, and I hope that he continues to build on his legacy, because I like him. Now, obviously, I don't know where you sat on it. I think I know where you sat on it. Nobody wanted Celtic to win besides Celtic fans, because we wanted Hearts to win.
Well, that would have been the story, yeah.
Yeah.
But the Celtic story was a great one, too.
Martin did his job.
Yeah.
I mean, he did his job. He went in there and he galvanised Celtic. And so the discussion about whether Martin O'Neill should be given a new contract perplexed me. Besides the fact he kept on telling everyone how bloody knackered he was.
Actually, Brad Friedel's with us, as he will be here in New York. Brad, whatever happened to Wilfred Nancy? Do we know? He came back here with his tail between his legs, having been a major flop in his short time in charge at Celtic.
I'll tell you, it very similar. I came over here and I was the head coach of New England Revolution. I found it very difficult to go from the professionalism of the Premier League this way. I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was too stubborn to stay in my own professionalism. I wouldn't adapt to where the level of MLS was.
Steve Nicholl was there for a while as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was there before, and then Jay Heaps, and then myself.
And Paul Marion as well.
I think what Wilfred did, he adapted to the US culture, and he went over there. When you go to a club like Celtic, and you hear his first interview, I don't care about the results, it's how we play. No. Results matter, and the fans will actually put up with you playing poorly if you're winning the matches for a certain amount of time. So I think he found that change going to that type of club very, very difficult.
Yeah.
With Martin, I played for Martin for 2 years.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Couple of step overs, low ball in Adams, what a save, out to McGinn, deflected in, it's Super John McGinn, it's Scotland's first goal at a World Cup for 28 years, listen to the Tartan Army roar, the final whistle is blown, after 28 years, Scotland have returned to the World Cup with a win, 8-0, Scotland won.
And everyone told us it's a must-win game, and we've won it against a really difficult opponent, and I knew they would be difficult. So, good night for the fans, and not too many big chances against us, although Haiti seemed to have a lot of the ball and putting a lot of the ball in the box. The 2 centre-backs outstanding, 2 full-backs, defensively great.
Yeah, first win at a World Cup since 1990. Only the 5th World Cup win ever for Scotland. First goal at a World Cup since quite a good finish from Craig Burley. I was watching it in 1998. Let's talk to Barca Jim Burke from the Celtic BFC podcast. RGC, sorry,
RGC,
Jim. Got the wrong one.
Like that, yeah.
Oh, he's got a theme tune, Jim. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Oh, yes, nice.
Here we go.
Such a beautiful horizon.
Yeah,
I don't want to wake Barry with that, Jim, do I? How are you, pal?
Hello, Jim.
I think I'm blessed that I wasn't able to hear that. I think I'm blessed. Charlie, just a quick word. Nate, the Go Guess It today. Remind me, is there any reason that you did that? Is it remotely connected to what's the name of your tour again next year?
Let's go get it, Jim. Thank you very much for lots of tickets available, especially in Scotland, actually, Jim. Lots of tickets. Me and you at the moment.
Excellent. How we doing, boys?
So how was it? How was it, Jim? Was it because it was? I mean, it was agony. That last half an hour when basically Scotland didn't have the ball, and every time Haiti got close, you'd message me going, "I'm not enjoying this." It was agony, wasn't it?
It was horrible. I mean, I've even just heard this morning there's going to be a motion put before the Scottish Parliament that anyone that watched that game who's subject to a community service order, that the 2 hours of watching the game can count towards their community service. It was brutal, absolutely brutal. But it's teed us up nicely for the one of the ways that we go out of World Cups, which is on goal difference, right? It's just teed that failure up beautifully in my book, because I don't think 1-0 is going to be enough. And I mean, I should be buzzing. I mean, I know you said we've won 5 games in the World Cup, but we've only won 4 that meant something, if you like.
Sure.
As it turned out, the Holland game had a bit of a Pyrrhic victory at the end up. So we've got, 4 games. So there's that part of me I'm enjoying. Of course, we've won a game, and I mean, could you imagine my mood this morning if we'd drawn or got beat?
Yeah, of course, of course.
But it just wasn't. It wasn't convincing. With the exception maybe of Gannon Doak, and nobody. I mean, all put a shift in. Let's be honest, the players all put a shift in, but and nobody really stood out, and there was nothing really that. I mean, that comment, I think you made it. Was it yesterday on your show? You said that Scotland have a better midfield and potentially a better midfield than Brazil.
Well, they might have.
Yeah.
They might have.
Can I take that back?
Well,
Can I take that back?
midfield didn't look great against Morocco.
No, but Scotland couldn't keep the ball against Haiti, Jim. That's the point, isn't it? It's like you don't want to be a buzzkill. You don't want to be a buzzkill.
But it's tournament football. You do what's in front. You do. I'm trying to be positive. You beat what's in front of you, right? And you work. You play your way into a tournament.
Yeah, well, Scotland, we've never played more than 3 games. We don't get to play our way into it, right? Teams that play their way in normally have had 4 or 5 or 6 games, Charlie. So let's park that bit of patronising nonsense to the side for a moment, shall we? No, it gives us something, but there was nobody really. There's nobody carries any threat, and I know Steve Clarke's a very conservative manager, I think, to trade, if you like. And his substitutions, I don't know, I think Gannon Doak, because he had ice packs in his calves at the end. So I think he had just gave, I think he's got an hour in him, if you know what I mean. But even then, the substitutions he made, McGinn off, Kenny McLean on, even Ryan Christie, with 2 guys up front, but with no width. And you're thinking, I think the 2 guys up front I think it was the right thing, actually. I was pleased when I saw the team.
But you're never doing that. You're never doing that against Morocco and Brazil. Yeah, there is no way. You're playing one up, you're parking the ball. And look, Charlie is right. It is tournament football. You've got 3 points, you're top of the group. And you don't want to, you do want to be bouncing off the walls, but I don't know if missing Billy Gilmour was so big in that midfield, but you felt like you could push on, right? You felt like, and I think, I don't know what you think, Jimmy. It's like McGinn and McTominay, neither of them had brilliant games, and you need them, certainly in the next game. You need both of them to be absolutely at the top of their game. And if they are, it can be really different. You only 1 point in the last 2 games. You're just playing 2 really good football teams.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. And when Gilmour was out injured, I thought, oh, well. And then last night I realised, because he's got that ability to take the ball and take care of it and just make things, take the sting out of a game and control a midfield. McTominay's great and McGinn's great, but neither of them, that's not either of their games. And Lewis Ferguson, it's not his game, and he's not as good at it as Gilmour potentially would have been. So It is what it is, you know.
Should have picked Harvey Barnes, Jim. Had Harvey Barnes in the squad.
Charlie, please stop this, will you? Okay? I can make sure that your sales in Scotland are even worse than they are just now, right? I can put a Scotwa out on you.
Look, the direction of travel is correct. You've scored a goal. You've won a game. First time in ages. So it's moving forwards. It's going in the right way, Jim. Come on.
Well, it is. And the bottom line is, as I said earlier, could you imagine Mahmood had we drawn or got beat?
Yeah.
Because at least the games now, even the Brazil game now means something. And also the Brazil game definitely now teases up for my favourite line in every tournament. If results stay like this, Scotland are through, right?
Scotland are through.
Okay. All right. So I love that, right? Because I can. Lumping on. Because that's just not going to happen. We know it's not going to happen, guys. But it does. And thankfully, thanks to another bloody religious thing on Saturday, family thing, I'll be in Glasgow on Friday night. Which
sound like you're
is
looking
a lot
forward to
better. Listen, as long as I don't have to listen to that commentator, Liam McLeod, who literally couldn't go 2 minutes without saying something like, well, you know, we've only ever won 4 games. Oh, we've played 60 games in tournaments and we've only scored 8 goals. And you're going, mate, just come on.
I was listening to Joe Shannon on talkSPORT, Jim.
Yeah, he's good, Joe, isn't he? Well, listen, Jim, you're in it. Is he right? These games matter. Just 1 point could all change, but I agree. It's like hard to gauge how excited or terrified or whatever you should be. But we like talking to you, however you're feeling, Jim. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Thanks, Jim.
Lovely, no bother, boys. Listen, good luck with Scotland, Charlie. I'll put a word in, I promise.
Edinburgh and Glasgow, Jim, both.
Yes, Edinburgh not so much, but Glasgow. I'll let the lads know. All right.
Cheers, Jim. Jim Burke there. Max is sounding like a Dr. Fraser Crane phone-in.
Oh, that's true, yeah. If you've got any problems, give Max a ring if you think he can help.
David says, I know he's grumpy and still funny. I must admit, I'm impressed at how much clout Barry has at talkSPORT to be able to dictate his own working hours based on tiredness, he says.
If he did do that based on tiredness, he'd never be here.
On footballers you've seen asleep, John from Rutland here. I was on a plane to Dubai. Sat next to my wife was Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Nice.
He had an eye mask on, but was snoring and dribbling for 6 hours.
That's a lot.
A little. It is, isn't it? A whole 6 hours. When I see him on TV, I have to turn it off. It upset me that much. Come on, John. We're all allowed to dribble when we sleep.
And thank you to the 800 people who've texted in the Wolves defence.
Yeah, the Tottenham defence.
The Spurs defence. Thank you very much.
Yeah. We only want footballers you have definitely seen asleep. It is Max and Charlie with you until 1. We'll do some Socceroos. What a brilliant performance from Australia. Honestly, the scenes, if you have a second, just go on YouTube. And the scenes at Fed Square in Melbourne were absolutely unbelievable. You know, so many football fans so desperate for some joy. We talk about the Scotland fans, the Socceroos fans the same. Absolutely. A football match on was a normal time for them. And we'll talk to Australian football expert Nick Stoll about it in just a second.
What is interesting there, I think, is that Bellingham is saying the group didn't connect as well as it could have done. Why is he saying that?
As a deflection. Listen, every player knows where they stand. I'm going to give a story, but I'm not going to say the name of the player because that would be wrong. But I will say it was Martin O'Neill because he won't mind me saying this. Okay. You'll get enjoyment. There was a player who came into the Aston Villa changing room, and he was like, "I need to talk to the manager." And us as players were like, "Yeah, you got to go talk to him. You got to go talk to him," because we knew kind of how it was going to go. So he bursts in there and he knocks on the door and he's all bold and brave. And then Martin O'Neill goes, "What? How can I help you?" And he goes, "I need to know where I stand." He goes, "You haven't played for me and kicked the ball for me in 3 months. You know exactly where I stand. Now turn around and get out of my office." Players know where they stand. If you're starting, you know where you stand in the manager's eyes. Yeah. If you're a substitute, you know that the manager does like you, but maybe he thinks in formation or whatever, that's something else. If you're not playing, you know also clear, exactly right? Where you stand. The memo's
clear. I mean, the interesting thing is that it's you get an insight into the psyche of a player, but the most important thing is the follow-up question to what he says. And there isn't a follow-up question. There's just a one-way transaction of we needed to feel loved, we needed to feel, in a certain way, and we didn't connect together, and perhaps we didn't celebrate wins as much as we should have done. Well, there's a real, that's the nature of the beast. That's the society that we live in. Sometimes things are taken for granted, and it's the criticism that comes more readily than the praise. But if you're a team, do you want to be in a big team that has expectations of you? Do you want to play for a big club like Real Madrid that has expectations of you? I would imagine he'd spend more time complaining about playing for Real Madrid and the expectations upon him as a Real Madrid player than he would playing for his country. Right. And the challenge to that sort of question should be, well, what is it you expect of a manager? What is it you expect of people that are supporting you? Because you are lauded and applauded and revered. Yes. I think it's to do with a lot of... you heard rumours coming out of that camp last in the Euros about who didn't want to do press conferences, who didn't want to come up for this, who didn't want to come up that. Harry Kane apparently had an issue about Jude Bellingham not doing enough public appearances and all that sort of stuff. That might be gossip. And some of that might be right. But that should not be an insulation.
Morning all, Max Rush and Charlie Baker with you until 1. Jim Barber in Southsea's been in touch.
Hello, Jim.
On the subject of footballers you've seen asleep. Kanu used to regularly get the train back to London when he was at Pompey, says Jim. I got on and saw him, cap down, sunglasses on, nudged him and woke him up for a photo with my really bad Sony Ericsson. I got back to my seat and realised the photo was bad, so I went back and asked for another. That's a bit harsh on Kanu, isn't it?
You can't wake someone up for a selfie.
Have you ever woken up a footballer? That is harsh, isn't it?
For a selfie, and then go back to do another one.
Yeah, famous people saying, not while I'm having dinner at this restaurant with my family, not when Kanu's asleep. He must have been feet on the seats, mustn't he, Kanu?
Well, those massive feet as well.
What's he got,
size 19 feet or something?
Can't be size 19.
He was like crazy big feet. I'm going to find out.
I know he does have big feet. Anyway, I blew his cover. He had to get off at the next stop. I'd compromised it, and he had to queue a queue of kids asking for autograph. I think that's out of order, Jim.
Size 15.
Anyway, size 15.
Size 15.
Kanu. Have you ever woken up Kanu is a great text topic. So yeah, 8:89. It is Max and Charlie with you until 1. So let's talk about Australia. Socceroos' brilliant win over Turkey. I was not expecting that. Their goal scorer, Iran Kunda, Watford fans will know him. He shared his delight becoming Australia's youngest ever goal scorer at a World Cup.
Dream come true. We've got the win now. We worked extra hard. We fought till the end. And it's just an exciting moment, yeah. You got to thank the staff, you got to thank the nation. They all have the belief in me to do so well. And, I felt like today, getting that goal, it was amazing. We don't like to hear people talk bad about us, because we're a great team. People underestimate us a lot. And, we showed them today that we can play. Obviously, they kept the ball a lot more, but who scored the goals? We scored the goals, and we showed them that we can play football, yeah.
Just so positive, Max, aren't they? You're surrounded by that all the time. Just that,
all the time.
The Aussie can do.
Let's talk to Australian football expert working for SBS on the tournament. I work with me on the Champions League.
Oh, great.
In the glory years of the Champions League coverage. Nick Stoll. Hey, Nick. How are you, pal?
Good. I'm pumped up from Nestor and Kundo's interview.
Yeah, what a guy.
What a guy, but what an amazing... I don't know if you were expecting that. I was not. I was just expecting Australia to try and get 3-0 this tournament. I wasn't expecting that starting lineup. I wasn't expecting the way they played. And I got quite... When the second goal went in, I just started welling up. I mean, I'm tired, Nick. I'm always tired. But what a brilliant moment for Australian football fans.
Yeah, it was incredible. And no, it wasn't expected at all. I mean, if you had asked me 10 minutes before kickoff, I would have said, Popovic, what is he doing? Why has he selected this lineup? He put Patrick Beach in goals, who was his third ever game for the Socceroos. He took out Matt Ryan, who's played 100 games and is our captain. Iran Kunda wasn't expected to start. Paul Ocon Jr. played, I think, his second ever game in midfield. He was the one who gave the assist for Iran Kunda. So it really was a risky lineup. And had it gone wrong, Popovic would have been crucified. And yeah, I was like you, Max. We were expecting sort of 0-0, 1-0 this whole tournament. So to win the first game 2-0, it's been incredible. And the reception here in Australia, parties in the streets, it's been amazing.
Yeah, I can't think of a much more Aussie name than Patrick Beach. Pat Beach. It's about as Aussie. If he was Bruce Beach, if he's got a family member called Bruce Beach, then Australia has completed itself.
Charlie, Nick messaged me before going, is there a lot of analysis in this interview?
Oh, sorry, Nick.
Who's the co-host? Will there be sensible questions or not? There we go. That's the level we're at, Nick. That's fine. It's
we can go through a name-by-name basis. And
Bruce and Barbie Beach, if that's his mum and dad.
What about Aidan O'Neill?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I was talking about it yesterday, Nick, about the US side winning. And if you are a football fan in one of those countries, you are just so desperate for success because, you sort of feel the world is again, in the UK, football is just, you're the biggest sport. It doesn't matter if England do well or not in this tournament. Football will still be the biggest sport. So there's so much riding on every single game in every single major tournament. So when you have a day like this, there is this kind of release of just, not only is this great because it's great and it means you might get through to the knockouts, et cetera, but it means so much more.
I think the group stages, for the large part, are for the smaller teams. We've already had our amazing moments. Sort of everything from here on in is a bonus. Whereas I guess for England and some of the bigger teams at this tournament, the group stage is quite stressful. You just want to get through it, get to the top of the group, rather hassle-free. But for these early stages, I really think the focus is on the smaller teams like Australia. And yeah, it is incredible. Like you say, it is a rare sort of twilight zone time where the entire country comes around football. It happens very rarely here, Max, as you would know. And it is amazing to see Melbourne completely packed, live sites in Sydney, live sites in Brisbane and Adelaide, where usually other sports would be dominating at this time of year. So, it's just magical. And from a team not full of superstars at all. I mean, as sort of everyone was saying, there isn't a Harry Kewell or Mark Viduka or Tim Cahill in this lineup. And even on the broadcast, we were sort of doing, okay, Turkey's key man, Arda Güler, plays for Real Madrid, scored in the Champions League quarterfinal. And then on the other side, we're like, okay, Australia's key man, scored 4 goals for Watford this season in the Championship. It's not quite the same thing.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I think Tim Cahill could still do a job, I reckon. I think it's a mistake not picking him. But I think you're absolutely right about the format. We were talking yesterday, weren't we, Max? Saying there's 72 games before we get to the amount of games that we had at the start of the last World Cup. So this does feel like sort of televised prelims a little bit, but it's going to throw up some brilliant results and some smaller countries and nations are going to get through.
Yeah, and I think also just it's amazing for those teams because, it is the first time that we've won an opening match since 2006. So usually the start of the tournament is just instant disappointment. So, I think it's incredible. And also the fact that now, I mean, the pressure's a little bit off because really you can almost get through on 3 points. So as long as we keep our goal difference okay, obviously we hope to beat the US and we hope to beat Paraguay. But yeah, it's very quickly changed the mood around this team, which it's been incredible.
And actually, the Iwan Kunda story is amazing, right? Like a refugee who came from Tanzania, and Australia is a country like pretty much every country, built on immigration like that, and just his story is a really beautiful one.
Yeah, we have a lot of immigrants like yourself, Max, who come to our country and steal our presenters' jobs. Yeah. But,
not for long.
Can't hold them. But Iwan Kunda is an amazing story. He came to Australia when he was a baby. He grew up in Adelaide. He very early on broke through to the Adelaide United first team, 15 years old, broke sort of all the records, youngest ever scorer, regular starter, and just had an incredible highlight reel. And then about 2 years after he made his debut, Bayern Munich came in and bought him directly, which, we knew he was good in Australia, but it was insane when Bayern Munich came in to buy him. Of course, he couldn't quite crack the starting lineup. He's ended up at Watford, and even Watford fans will tell you he's erratic. He can strike the ball brilliantly. His highlight reel is incredible. But he can also have games where, as a young player, you're sort of understanding that he loses his composure or he sort of fades out of games. So, I think for him as well, it was very special that he almost scored with his first opportunity. But when you see that goal, that's exactly what he has. He's incredibly quick. He's incredibly strong. His balance is very good. And his ball striking is fantastic.
Yeah, and the touch was so good as well. And like the US next, and they've been trash talking you a bit, haven't they? They've been sledging you.
It is funny because we kind of are sort of the same. Like, recently there's been on Australia's broadcast, there has been, because of the world feed, some US commentators, and Australians are in uproar because we do not believe, that an American should ever be talking about football. But I know that, many people do not think an Australian should ever be talking about football. And, we have a go at them because they call it soccer, but then most of people in Australia call it soccer. It's not the main sport in the US. It's not the main sport in Australia. So very, very similar, but I really, 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 really want to beat them. I almost want to beat them more than I want to progress to the next round.
Yeah, well, you do both if you do, I guess, don't you? Look, thanks for coming on, Nick. Appreciate your time.
Nick. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
Good man, Nick Stoll there. Great. If you haven't seen those scenes in the Fed Square in Melbourne, it sort of doesn't matter who you support. When you watch that and that unbridled joy, absolutely brilliant. So well done to Australia. And Mrs. Rushden has absolutely no idea that they won. But,
really?
I'm delighted on her behalf. Yeah.
What did she predict, Max?
I don't know what she predicted. Because I know she's doing predictions. I know she predicted for that one on Instagram. She's doing predictions. She said it would be a low-scoring game, 3-3, and then Australia would win 1-0 on penalties. That was her prediction.
Low-scoring 3 or 1. Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah. I like it.
And we were just talking about this not being the main sport in Australia or the US, the NBA is certainly one of them. And the Knicks won, and they beat the San Antonio Spurs, came back from behind again, and we'll talk about that in just a second.
For you, Carl, obviously playing right back, you would have played against these two guys, and we don't quite know which one will start, and that's Anthony Gordon and Marcus Rashford on that left-hand side. Now, you've played against both. I'm not going to say which one's better, but what differences are there between the two, and what makes both of them as good as they are? Obviously, Rashford being at Barca, Anthony Gordon just got the move to Barcelona. What are the differences between the two?
I think that just says it there. There's not really much with one team signing them both, and wanting to take them because they fit the personality that they want to play the game at. I think, listen, they're both extremely quick players, and they both got an eye for goal as well. The main thing is that I feel that in tournaments that I've played in previously to this, there's not been many other goals than Harry Kane, and that's what we need to find. And as having one of them on the pitch, with Bakayoko or Noni on the other side, I think they need to bring some goals into it.
The fullback situation. Reece was a little bit more reserved last night than O'Reilly. O'Reilly, we know he's a midfielder that plays left back. He's an 8 that can be a 10. He's incredibly talented. I mean, you'll know all about him, right? Reece, I felt, was a little bit more structured to his game. And maybe that's because of his hamstrings. Maybe they're managing that. I know at Chelsea they've had to manage that because there is some fragility in and around there. How important is that, though, that Nico O'Reilly does that job on that side? Because his link-up play is exceptional. He really is a major talent.
I think you can't take that away from Nico. What he's done at Manchester City and arriving in the box in areas that you don't expect.
Morning all, it is the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max Rushden and Charlie Baker with you until 1. Charlie doing the Sunday warm-ups while me and Barry are in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'm still hoping we get 5 minutes with Barry if he gets up for a wee or something, just...
Yeah, I mean, we do have separate bathrooms, so he's not going to just stroll in the back door there.
That's a shame.
It's sort of tricky. I don't want to, I mean...
What did you think of the Socceroos, Barry? Oh, fine, absolutely fine.
Just don't think that would be his answer. Okay. I think he would say... He'd definitely swear and then go, no. It's but look, maybe for the last one we'll do it. Anyway, I am in LA, so now I know everything about basketball because the last time we had Ryan Richards on, the reception was never ask a question about basketball again, Max, you idiot. But yeah, the Knicks have won. I think the first time since 1973. I don't know if it was that long.
1973, long old time. Haven't been in the finals since the early 90s as well. So
you know your stuff. But let's bring Ryan Richards on to talk about it. Hey, Ryan, British basketball player.
I got it wrong, Ryan. I told you Knicks in 6 and it was Knicks in 5.
Look, I just want to say to everybody that Charlie knows his stuff. 20 years out the window for me. Okay, he called it, he knew it. I don't know if he ordered these clothes yesterday, but
do you know what, Ryan?
Yeah.
I was in a bar in LA, and it's hard to say that without sounding like a real show off. But the previous game was on, and the Spurs were so far ahead. You're a San Antonio Spurs fan.
29 ahead.
So far ahead, 29 ahead, and the Knicks came back, and it was everyone was saying if the Knicks win this will be one of the biggest sort of It's
the greatest comeback of all time in NBA history.
One of the biggest moments in NBA history, and then Spurs were quite far ahead in this game as well, and then fans in the UK will know that it's a very Spursy thing to do to mess up like this. And so, were you surprised about what happened?
I was surprised. I mean, they're a young team, and there's moments of the game people are, they should have done this, should have done that. But until you're in those moments, in somewhere like Madison Square Gardens with those fans, it's tough to say. The 29-point game, I was surprised. I would have bet the house that there was no way they were going to come back. They did it. But, you know, they're a young team, and I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but the Knicks roster, 4 of them won the NCAA 2016 championship together.
The Villanova Knicks.
Exactly. So they've got experience. You know, it's tough, you know. But no, I was shocked, and a lot of the memes were hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to, well, mainly one man, Jalen Brunson, their captain, their Captain Clutch, they call him, because he's so great down the straight. And he's scored 40-plus points, a triple-double, they call it, don't they?
Yeah, he scored 45 points. He didn't have a triple-double. He had 45 points. But to me, it's one of the greatest finals performances ever. I think you've got to put him in there as top 5 player in the NBA now, and I think you have to start considering him as one of the top 5 point guards of all time. And maybe one of the greatest Knicks of all time. Because as you said, they haven't won in so many years.
At 6'2" as well, which as you know is not big for a guy. They all said he was too small. They wrote off a lot of these guys in this team, didn't they? Josh Hart, Karl Anthony Towns. They wrote off a lot of these guys.
Jeremy Sochan, what a beautiful story. You know, he's with San Antonio. They let him go. He signed with the New York Knicks, and he ended up winning, you know, the championship and playing a key role for them. So. It's like a movie. In 20 years, there will be a movie, and I think, Charlie, you and me will be on there.
I think so, yeah. I think that's a good idea. I like that.
Who the hell are they going to get to play that enormous San Antonio Spurs, Matt? Who plays him?
And Banyama. Well, he'll be small by then. In 20 years' time, people are growing at such a rate that he'll be too small by then.
Oh, right, he won't shrink. No. But he'll be okay. I understand. There'll be loads of actors who are 7'5". I mean that clip, Ryan, of the pitch side interviewer interviewing him with her hand, because she was only about 5'2", and all you just saw was an arm in shot. And I mean, you tell me like how brilliant a player he is, or if he's just there because he's so like to have coordination when you're 7'5" is quite extraordinary.
Oh, he's an alien. I think he's the future. He's the future of the NBA. I do believe if not next year, the following year, he will win multiple championships, potentially back to that. And that Knicks team, I don't think it's going anywhere. I mean, OG Anunoby, he's not going to buy a drink, food, anything for the rest of his life. Yes. Yeah, they might wipe state tax for him as well. I mean, it's amazing, man. I mean, the Knicks team's great. New York winning the league is huge. It's massive. So, you know, I'm happy to see it. You know, I do hate on the Knicks, but Spurs time will come.
Well, I did tell you anyway. But how is your league going, the Reba SL?
Reba SL is booming. We've got players coming in internationally now because their seasons are finished abroad. So that's exciting. We have 3 rounds in July, which I hope you boys can pop down and come see. We have Manchester, London, and Bristol. Right. And everything is on Reba Limited on Instagram or RebaBasket.com to get signed up. So yeah, we're making waves, and hopefully some special appearances from some of the British guys. You know. Jeremy Sochan and OG Anunoby.
Yeah, I mean, if they turn up, unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, Ryan, thanks so much for coming on. Really appreciate your time, pal.
For sure. Enjoy yellow.
Thank you, mate. Ryan Richards there, a British basketball player, San Antonio Spurs fan, of course.
And I will say, look, I did start supporting them in the 23-24 season, right? But you have to start, and they weren't doing anything then at all. You know, they hadn't won for absolutely ages. I'm not trying to claim it at all, but you do have to start. If you do want to get into a sport, you have to start somewhere. You have to pick a team, and do you know what? Picking this team and following them, and unless they've won, but that's completely out of the come completely out of the blue.
You sounded so knowledgeable, Charlie. You sounded like you just
I've got really into it. But it's
double,
been like,
triple.
It's been like a holiday. It's been like a holiday because I support a team that doesn't win all the time and has never won the main thing.
No, it's quite hard to compare Torquay and the New York Knicks.
It's not really. I can do it if you want me to.
Is there, at Torquay, do they have you, Helen Chamberlain, Jim Proudfoot?
Yeah.
Just camera constantly cutting to you.
What a rum lot. People are, but who's that?
It's Torquay Dave. He's famous in Torquay, you know. What do you think? I was thinking about the hydration breaks, which are really annoying. They haven't.
Do they need them, Max? Do they need them?
I don't think so. And I don't know I don't know on ITV if they had adverts or not, or do they stay?
There's no adverts yet on ITV. I don't think yet.
So where I'm watching, I'm sure there will be. They do have them in Ireland. I think RTE's got adverts. In the US, Fox have adverts, and Telemundo, which is the kind of Spanish-speaking channel, they've made a real big player thing. We don't have adverts. So it has adverts, and that's really annoying. I think it really does. You can see it changing how the game works, right? And how people can just get to that. And any team with momentum, and if you are defending for 45 minutes, it just changes how you feel about the game. But there was a couple of funny, I don't know if you saw these, in Qatar, Switzerland. It happened in the Scotland game as well. They came back and everyone was ready, but like they just couldn't play until Whitney Houston's "I Want to Dance with Somebody" had finished. The Qatar goalkeeper's just waiting there, and we're all listening to Whitney Houston going, "We don't need this." And then in the Scotland game, and they're waiting for the adverts to finish somewhere, right, like around the world. And then in the Scotland game, I think the Eurythmics were playing. It was like, I think Angus Gunn took the free kick, and then they had to give the ball back because Annie Lennox hadn't quite finished her bit. And you're like, God, come on. But I do, the worry is that it changes.
Well, it will, because FIFA will love it, won't they? They'll absolutely, because they're never going to go, yeah, look, these things didn't work. They're all going to go, it all worked, it was all amazing, and this is going to now go down into the grassroots of the game. And you go,
well, if you're a broadcaster in the UK, right, if you're Sky or TNT or whoever you are, and you go, well, hang on, we can make X more pounds, and actually people are far less likely to turn the TV off halfway through the first half. Half time you might go and have a cup of tea, or but that is a real,
it is not a stop-start game. Is the problem? It's the problem with VAR. And it's the problem with it. It's not it's a continuous game. That is the point. Teams get momentum. That is the point.
Yeah. And another silly thing that's happening is this big 10 countdown, 10, 9, 8, 7, because football doesn't start in that way, because, it's like big countdown and then just little gentle side foot pass to the centre back, and then they just pip it between each other for a bit, and it's just like that's not
knocks it long for possession.
Like it's just not a game where the opening moment is a thing, right? We're all just getting ourselves, or just a bit of stretching.
That's fine.
Peep. That's fine, guys. That's all we want. Football is still popular. People still love it, and it's just peep. Anyway, it's Max and Charlie with you until 1. John Bruin, broadcaster and journalist, will join us. We'll do some more World Cup stuff in the next bit.
First player I've gone for Neymar.
No, mate, honestly.
What do you mean? Don't start. I'm giving Neymar a free roll as well.
Mate, Neymar, the most overrated footballer of his generation. I'm not having it.
Conde, don't.
No, I'm not having it.
Don't,
no,
I'm a big Neymar.
No, he
doesn't overrate.
He does. The most overrated footballer of his generation.
Oh my God. At Barca.
No, not having him. Not having him. Not having him. No, not having it. Nope. That's the music stopped.
Conde, please, mate.
No, not Neymar.
Who's a better player? Neymar, Hazard.
R9. Oh, give me Hazard every day of the week, mate. Mate, give me. Is it? No, don't get me on the Neymar train.
Okay. R9's playing with him. R9's
take Neymar out.
But no, mate, come on. Neymar. Pace. Skill.
No, he's got a heart the size of a.
Yeah, but mate, he made you enjoy football watching him.
No,
that's a typical centre half.
No, do you know, no, give me R9. Right, I'm not having Neymar. Not at any price.
Neymar, Suarez, Messi.
No, give me Hazard. Give me anyone. You don't want Neymar in your team, mate.
What do you mean?
You don't want Neymar in your team.
What he won with Barca?
What he won?
Well, he's part of it, mate. He was outstanding. Come on.
No. Here's a stat. When he left Barcelona, he never won a major honour again. And don't give me...
He left Barca for the dough, didn't he? Obviously, to PSG.
Well, that goes down as a black market, Michael.
I know, but...
No.
Conde, we've become very close, mate.
No, I know, but we're going to fall out of a Neymar.
Yeah, it could be, mate.
No.
Please, mate.
No.
Wow.
No. No. Scrub him out.
Let's break.
Scrub.
All right. He's out. Thiago's in. Thiago, you in from Brentford. Go on, mate. You're in. Show us what you got. One season wonder. Go on.
I just can't have it, mate.
Wow.
No, sorry, mate.
Shocked me, that has.
No, the thing about Neymar is that obviously.
You could probably draw a photo of the modern FIFA World Cup trophy with your eyes closed. But what about the original Jules Rimet trophy? And why was it changed in the first place? And is the trophy that gets lifted by the winning team after the World Cup final the original or the replica? The World Cup trophy hasn't always looked like this. It actually used to resemble this. Originally called Victory or Coupe du Monde, it was designed by French sculptor Abel Lafleur and debuted at the first ever World Cup in 1930. It depicted the Greek goddess of victory, Nike, holding an octagonal cup made of gold-plated sterling silver. It had a lapis lazuli base, which is that deep blue gemstone at the bottom. Renamed in 1946 to honour the FIFA president who launched the World Cup, it became then the Jules Rimet Trophy. It went on several adventures during its life, hidden in a shoebox during the Second World War to prevent theft from the Nazis, to famously being stolen in 1966 in England, only to be found by Pickles the dog. Brazil won the right to keep the Jules Rimet Trophy permanently in 1970 after winning it 3 times. There'd be more drama, though, with the trophy again stolen in 1983 in Rio de Janeiro. It's believed to have been melted down. So back to 1970 and the creation of the current and iconic 18-carat gold trophy. Standing at 36.8 centimetres tall with a base made up of 2 layers of green malachite, it's been the World Cup as we know it since the 1974 tournament. But is that the trophy that the winners get to keep? The answer is no. The original gold trophy remains with FIFA and is only displayed at special events. World Cup winners have to settle for a bronze gold-plated replica. The base of the current original has enough space to engrave the names of the winners up to and including the 2038 World Cup. So could we therefore be in for a new trophy in the coming years?
Morning, everybody. You are listening to the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max Rushden and Charlie Baker with you until 1. Phil from Chicago here. I agree with Charlie. Phil. You must pick a team when you start to follow a sport. I didn't start following football until COVID, and for various reasons I chose to be an Everton supporter. I've been suffering ever since. But at least Moyes has them looking a bit better now. Enjoy the show. Listen every weekend. Shh. Barry is sleeping. Max Rushden, live in Los Angeles, 10 yards away from a sleeping Barry Glendenning, who is not doing the Sunday warm-up because... well, it's 3:05 in the morning, and he was like, I couldn't function.
You are surprisingly chipper, though, Max, but you are a sort of chipper guy anyway, aren't you? Got a positive outlook on life, understand how lucky you are.
You remember when I hosted BBC London Breakfast with former Crossroads actress Jo Good.
Who could forget?
She used to talk about Dr. Footlights, which is a showbiz term. It doesn't matter how you're feeling. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. When the light comes on, you have to deliver.
I had a dream.
Exactly. And that's what I think.
It's gonna come true, Maxie.
This is Andy Robertson, Scotland captain, chatting to Shabana Hearn following that 1-0 win over Haiti.
Did you guys underestimate Haiti? I think a lot of us and the fan base might have.
The fans, I think the fans definitely did. We never, because we've been watching them for the last 2-3 weeks, and we've seen the quality they can bring. We can see how difficult they can be, and I think they showed that. But I also think we defended really well, and I think we limited them to, I can't really remember them having a clear-cut chance, maybe the header. But other than that, we defended the box really well. We defended our edge of the box really well. So I'm really proud of that. Obviously got the goal. Maybe could have got 1 or 2 more, but just delighted to get the 3 points.
Let's talk about that and all the other stuff happening at the World Cup with the broadcaster and journalist John Bruin. Hey, John.
Hello, John.
Hello there. How are you, chaps?
Yeah, very good.
Really good. I think he makes a good point about underestimating Haiti. About 10 minutes in, I was like, actually, I think, because when have we ever gone into a Scotland game going, they need 3 or 4? Like, it's never happened. I've never, ever gone into a game that Scotland are playing in a major tournament thinking that.
Well, history will tell you that Scotland have underestimated teams before. I think Iran, 1978, Costa Rica, that we will all remember back in 1990. I remember coming back from school to watch that and thinking, oh my God, and again, the underestimation. I was very interested in the fact that Andy Robertson said we've watched them for 2 or 3 weeks. They've known that's their opponent for quite a while. Could they have watched them for longer? Could they have been better if the scouting had gone on for a bit more?
Maybe he means as a group.
Right. Okay. So they've had video sessions daily on their opponents. Maybe that's how it works. But listen, they got it done, didn't they?
Yeah.
But I was thinking back to that last win. It's a forgotten win almost over Sweden. Murdo MacLeod is the name that rings out to me from that one. A great Scottish name, of course. And yes, so they got it done. John McGinn, what a hero he is. Watching the build-up over here, there was a lot of talk about the size of his rump, and that appears to be the thing that it makes him stand out for other Scottish players. It was Scott Brown, as we should call him. The man with the hair that we never thought he had.
No, amazing,
was saying this. Yes.
Scott Brown looked like he was pre and post hair transplant for his whole career, and then he sort of stopped in this big bush of hair. I think the thing about John McGinn is he a bit like Jalen Brunson, we were just talking about the basketball, he looks physically like a fan.
Yes.
He looks like one of us on the pitch.
Yeah, you could see him with the Tartan Army, getting a few down before and after during the game, and and that's it. He is the epitome, I suppose, of the Scottish ball player, the Scottish terrier. Going back to a Billy Bremner type of tradition, and he's a fantastic player.
He is. I don't think he was brilliant yesterday. I don't think McTominay was either. And I don't know if you agree with me. And I think they obviously need to be better than that. I don't want to take away from the Scotland win. I'm not an England fan who's desperate. I'm not doing a pantomime. I hope Scotland lose stuff. I don't at all. I really want them to go far in this tournament. But I think in the cold light of whenever Scotland fans wake up, especially the ones in Boston, they might go, that wasn't enough. And obviously Haiti are better than I think a lot of us thought they were. But like when you've got Morocco and Brazil, and like they might prove us wrong. If they turn up and play brilliantly, they could do something against those two sides. But it's going to be so difficult.
Yeah, Morocco, particularly in that first half, looked excellent, didn't they?
Yeah,
very, very good team. And considering at the AFCON, of course, which they won in inverted commas, they looked a little panicked by playing at home. I actually went to one of those games, and there was a real anxiety in that team playing. But at the World Cup in New Jersey, they looked and actually had. Did you notice this? That the more noise was made when Morocco were on the attack than Brazil. Their fans were really, really up for it. And I thought they were fantastic in that first half. I think the second half was a bit of a détente type of thing, wasn't it? Where both decided, we'll take a draw.
I thought that was really, because you know, it was the first game where you were like, okay, there's two heavyweights playing. Like we've got Netherlands, Japan, later, and that's sort of the second one. But like Brazil, Morocco, you're like, okay. And the way that started with those two goals that were both brilliant goals in very different ways, you were like, okay, this is really the World Cup. A Brazilian going, sod it, I'll just do something brilliant, you know.
Yeah.
And then it did really peter out. And I was trying to work out if that was the changes that Ancelotti made in midfield, if it was the heat, if it was the hydration breaks, or if both those sides just went, do you know what, a draw is fine.
Yeah, and I suppose this is the thing. You mentioned all those factors, hydration. It seems like getting used to this thing. You know, we're watching a new sport here. Four quarters.
Murderous.
It's really. Wayne Rooney the other night was expressing his disquiet, you know, when Jesse Marsh came on and actually turned it around for Canada against Bosnia, and it's just this new aspect of the game. Should they just not change ends? You know, I mean, just change ends when you have the drinks break and just have done with it. These are the quarters now. I mean, I'm sure that's what certain advertisers want, but
of course they do.
Yeah, it just breaks the game up into something that, hey, listen, we're all of a certain age, and there's an innate conservatism that comes with that, but it doesn't feel like that works for me. It's and are we going to see that? I mean, the basketball that's obviously been taking a great deal of its attention, that always seems to go to the last couple of minutes. Is that how soccer's going to go now? That things are saved up to the final quarter? I mean, we're watching a different sport here.
Yeah, why don't they stop the clock? I don't understand if they are going to do that. I don't understand why they're not stopping the clock.
Yeah, I actually thought at the start that they would stop the clock, but no, they don't. And then sometimes the clock stop doesn't go on. And I don't know if you watched the Qatar-Switzerland game where we had to wait for a blast of Whitney Houston to restart the game.
Funny. Yeah. It was really funny just seeing 22 blokes and a ref standing there just waiting for her to finish. I want to dance with somebody.
I think it's all to be filed under the game's gone, John. I think that's what it is. Just a quick another word on Morocco. They are the hosts next time round with Portugal and Spain. So
and
this,
Uruguay.
So this could be
mad.
It's a mad World Cup, isn't it?
But I think actually, Charlie, they are angling to host the final, aren't they? That there's going to be some mega stadium built, Casablanca, and I actually, as I said, I was in Morocco for AFCON, visited some of the stadiums, and the one in Rabat, the national stadium at the moment, was pretty spectacular. European standard, getting towards Tottenham Hotspur Stadium standard of stuff, and so you are that's so it is interesting, and I mean, and there is such an amount of talent in that team, and in that game yesterday they played in that high pressing, the attacking that I didn't really see at AFCON. They've
changed.
They've changed, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Stay with us, John. It's the warm-up on talkSPORT with Arnold Clark. Buy a used car in their upgrade event and get 2 years free servicing, plus a chance to win the cost of it back this June. Max and Charlie with you till 1.
think you've got a couple of positions that Rashford, Gordon, the centre halves. I know Peter
Saka one on the, how fit is Saka?
Yeah, how fit is B? I think you look at it, Morgan Rogers. The big one is Morgan Rogers and Jude Bellingham. Who's going to start? Who's not going to start? Can you fit them both into?
Who's starting?
No, Benny, come on. For me, Morgan's had a fantastic couple of years at Aston Villa. A fantastic couple of years, and to see what he's done for Man City when I played with him when he was coming up through the youth team to then go and do what he's done now. It's not shocked me, but it's a great step in the right direction to where he wants to be. But I think Jude's done it for season in, season out. Obviously, he's had a little bit of an injury season, we're going to say, but Jude's quality is still there.
Let me ask you then, Charlie, because you've been an outside perspective, because all the fans, obviously English fans, are going to say, we're going to win it. And after last night, we're definitely going to win it. After what you saw last night, I know you're going to say England are one of the favourites, but can you see England winning it, or do you still think there are other nations out there that look better?
No, I do think there is other nations that have got a real good chance. I think I look at the Netherlands and I think they're probably a little bit of an outsider. But looking at the odds today, it's Brazil are probably, and Argentina, two South Americans. You'd expect a South American team to go there. I think it's a shootout for me between France and England. That's what I believe. I think that England have got a brilliant chance. Thomas has made the decision to go and leave these players, Foden, Palmer out. And he's made that decision. And I thought England were really good last night. I thought they'd go and like I say, for me, Stones plays because he can control the game for you in the heat. He's very good with the ball. Mark Gahey, very good with the ball. I just thought that partnership could really dovetail really well for England. And I think, and I've said it last Qatar tournament, I think England are really, really strong and they've got a good opportunity of winning this. As a Scotsman, would I like to see it? Absolutely not. but for my son, I say it all the time, for my son who was born in England, I would love to see for him the opportunity of England winning a major tournament.
Hello, I'm Matt Fordham from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Matt in Sussex writing the irony of cutting John Bruin off for adverts while you're bemoaning the hydration break.
Sure, yeah, okay.
On your audience, yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
We've got to earn a living somehow. It's Max and Charlie with you to one. Writer and broadcaster John Bruin is with us. So time now for Duracell's Extra Mile.
Duracell's Extra Mile on talkSPORT. Different, better, unstoppable.
So it's a bit of the show where we pick out players who we think went the extra mile. Yes. I will start with, all the Socceroos. I just think, and I know we talked about it already, but that, I really expected more from Turkey, but that is such a brilliant performance from Australia. And Iran Kunda, such a brilliant moment for him, youngest goal scorer, I think, for Australia in a World Cup. Him at the front of the top of the pitch and Patrick Beach in goal for them were both brilliant. I don't know how much of that game you caught, John.
I watched the highlights. Paul Ocon Jr., they're calling him, though. Paul Ocon Engstler. I remember Paul Ocon as his dad. Well done, Australia. and they played. My memory of them at the last World Cup is a fairly defensive game, but they went for it, didn't they? They really attacked very well. And brilliant. You will know this, Max, that there is a real soccer culture there in Australia. I remember back in 2006 when they're meeting fans after they'd not been to a World Cup since 1974, and the long wait they'd had there. And hopefully this can be as good a World Cup as that one was back in 2006 for them, because they do add to it, a good Australian team. They really do.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's not forget the game-changing performance of Patrick Beach.
Yes.
Goalkeeper, fantastic.
A third cap, something like that. Yeah, they're just thrown in. I mean,
who's on the beach at corners? I mean, all those things you could say.
That actually does lead to now a really, like that game with the US now, because that's two of the best performances we've seen so far. Because the US were brilliant as well, and you sort of don't expect, because I think your mind, football doesn't just stay the same all the time. You have seen Asian and African sides get better and better and better, and now to see. I'm not saying either of these sides have the ability to go and win it, but it'll be really fascinating to see that US-Australia game now, I think, John.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing about this World Cup, is it's played in conditions that, well, us three in particular, I don't know. And there are random factors added that we've talked about previously. And, yeah, the US team were much better than I came to expect, and so were Australia. But then so were Qatar, So it's been Canada were good. I think we're waiting for the heavyweights to move into gear. I think that's the issue, isn't it? This World Cup, because it's so long. It's like like Hollywood films now have to be 3 hours. It's that.
The Irishman, that one, yeah. They're all Scorsese. All of these. All of these football matches.
Or one of these things. It's just and hopefully England will arrive. I mean, England don't seem to play for about 2 weeks, so that's the.
It's hard to get. It's we're constantly trying to come up with an England line and say something about England. And okay, they lost. Someone nicked a few of their footballs, but it's almost impossible until it's there.
Yes.
I can't have a conversation about Jude Bellingham or Morgan Rogers again. I just can't bring myself to do it.
Because we've been having it before. We've been having it for 4 years. So
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the Mark Guehi injury. I mean, it's almost like a national emergency because something has actually happened. And the chaps that have been with the England team, the reporters. They've been out there for weeks, and it's I'm reading over the pieces this morning in the various newspapers, and it's sort of going through, who's staying in the hotel. I was reading that there is a hotel restaurant and a gym that there's people actually who live in this condominiums. I think they call them, don't they, Max?
Okay.
You're probably staying in one right now.
Home. Yeah, do they have bingo? Do they have bingo?
Yeah. Well, they've been denied access to their usual facilities, but for this, England will give them access to the England team, do a meet and greet and all that. So, these are the minutiae that the chaps have to go through because there is no football taking place at the moment. It's just training regimes and, a lot of the use of the phrase "yeah, no" from the players as they talk to them in the various press conferences. And because it's sort of stretched out, this World Cup, it started quite slowly, or it feels that way. Because I don't have an indestructible body clock like yours, Max, and I didn't
watch it all. You just can't
in
the UK watch it all.
Well, the Scotland game starts at 2 a.m, and I'm awake at 2 a.m, but my head turns to the wall, and I think I'm not going to make this through, am I? And I didn't see any of the Scotland game because it's not possible.
It's difficult. Difficult to stay awake, John.
Every game is like the Super Bowl, isn't it? You watch the Super Bowl when you say, "Well, watch this," and you watch one quarter, and then you wake up 2 hours later with a quick snack on the sofa, going, "Oh, I should. I'll just learn next."
Well, we thought Brazil. We thought Brazil
might
liven it up a little bit with their performance, but they weren't very good, other than for the unstoppable power of Vinicius Junior. I mean, it was a slightly bright moment in that game.
Well, yeah, and he scored he did the thing. He's very like Aaron Robin, isn't it? It's like, he's going to do this thing. Don't let him do it. But once you do, you know what's going to happen. And that's exactly what he did. But then again, that Brazil performance, particularly in the first half, until they made Carlo Ancelotti made the subs. I mean, Casemiro, who I've praised all season, oh dear. You know, really. It was like Casemiro in the dark days of Ten Hag. You know, that was that was what I was watching, and they were very, very slow to the ball, and you know, and it reminded me actually of Carlo's Real Madrid. You know, when you watch them and you think, what, this is Real Madrid? They can't play like this. This is absolutely... And then they'll just score something spectacular.
Then they'll win the Champions League. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. And maybe that's the Carlo power that they're engaging. It's like, well, we know we're not going to play that well, but you know what? We'll just win. And how are we going to win? Oh, don't ask me. We just win. And that's pretty much the attitude that he brings, isn't it?
Yeah, look, we was going to see Germany today, going to see Netherlands play Japan, 3 sides that are all sort of fancy to do sort of okay.
Yeah, I was hearing that there's some sort of AI thing, which obviously I'm always wary of, that has Netherlands do very well. I don't see it. Germany have had a couple of disappointing World Cups, so they've got a lot to prove.
Sorry, John, I don't think it's an AI thing. I think there's a guy who's predicted the last...
it's an actual human.
Like a guy, like the guy who predicts the election results. That bloke. Predict the last few. There's another guy.
There's the last time ever a real human's going to do anything.
Yeah, he's an actual person. He's predicted the last 4 winners of the last 4 World Cups or something, and he's predicted the Netherlands to win it.
Is this the chap behind Paul the Octopus, or is it a different? I don't know. Is it a variant of that?
I think we call him Paul Hawksby now, but yeah, and that's Andy Jacobs.
Very good. But yeah, I mean, and it's difficult, isn't it, with these European teams? Now, I was going to say, mentioning Switzerland yesterday. Do we expect Switzerland to do well at a World Cup? Sort of.
Never.
No. And they just did a Switzerland thing where you have these, I suppose, mid-ranking European teams just sort of show up and don't do much.
Did you think that was an own goal? I mean, I've watched it so many. I was convinced the Qatar guy had scored a brilliant bullet header, and I've watched it about 1 million times, and it's gone down as an own goal. And I sort of can't believe it's an own goal, but maybe it is.
Well, Max, I was on the minute by minute, and it certainly didn't read like it was an own goal. Let's put it that way. It looked like a fantastic header, didn't it? I mean, you know, this is it. That game had that strange thing where we weren't shown the offside.
No.
With Gary Neville making wild accusations of it.
They've just shown it on Sky Sports.
Dictatorship.
Have they shown it?
They've shown it. Yeah, he was offside. Yeah,
he was offside. Fair enough.
There was a power outage, which
I mean, listen, I don't disagree with Gary Neville that FIFA is a dictatorship. But that wasn't the moment that I was thinking of, particularly whether a Swiss goal is offside or not. But they should take less than a day to show us, shouldn't they? Don't you think, John?
Yes, yeah. I mean, you know, the ITV broadcast, they had the VAR goddess Christina Unkel, who's, you know, the authority. Even Roy Keane and Gary Neville bowed to her, her command of this, and she was just like she was doubting the system and saying, well, what have they done? Why did? And so yeah, it turns out tech is the issue.
We know you have to trust the system, John. That's how you win the league.
Yeah, well, that's what we hear these days, isn't it? That's what, and who has the system to win this World Cup? That's the big question.
Good question.
What a play.
England, of course, like every World Cup. Thanks, John. Good to chat, my friend.
All the best, lads.
John Bruin there. That was Duracell's Extra Mile.
Extra Mile on talkSPORT. Different, better, unstoppable.
It's Max and Charlie. What are we whispering now?
I said both things. I said unstoppable power and I said game-changing performance, which are the things I had to say.
Yeah. Charlie's giving some things to say.
If people were thinking, why is he saying the unstoppable?
No, you can't. You can't peel back the curtain now. Charlie.
Sorry.
You've got to do this. You've got to do this. You know, say it. Duracell are going to put in more battery-based lines for you, and they're going to get even more specific about
battery footballers. Yes, please. Let's take some battery footballers, Max.
I really thought, Jordan Henderson was the cathode of this. How am I going to get that in? I can't get that cathode. I can't get that.
You really did put a AAA performance in.
Really, really good. Battery footballers. Go on then. 1889 at Max Rushden at Baker's tweet. We'll do some Fulham in just a second. I love the fact that football's kind of passing you by. I heard Tony Cascarino on breakfast yesterday going, I don't think Kieran Trippier should be allowed to leave Wolves just because Rob Edwards has gone. I was like, what? Well, I didn't know he was there in the first, but you can't do transfers now because we don't know it's happened. But anyway, Fulham look like they have a new manager. We'll talk about it in just a second.
I think when you look at Bellingham, especially like the last game, he started the game and within the first 10 seconds, he'd pressed the ball and he went out for a throw-in and that sets a tempo, doesn't it? But something about him, Neil, I'm with you. It's like he knows that this country should be winning World Cups and he's got that bite about him when I watch him play.
It's just the arrogance. I love the arrogance. I must tell you, when he was at Birmingham, I remember playing against him. I think he was 16 years. I had a good, tough lad in midfield, and I said, "Listen, you're playing against a kid tonight. Just sort him out. You normal thing. Get stuck in, and he'll not want to know." And he actually ran the game, and I was watching him. I was thinking, bloody, I've never seen anybody like this at that age. He's amazing, he was.
You need the character. See, people sometimes, in football, you need an arrogance about you, all right? Yes. And to do what he's done at an age that he is, go to Germany, now he's gone to one of the biggest, if not the biggest club in the world, and he knows, he feels like he belongs there. That takes a certain confidence and arrogance. And I think sometimes, Neil, it can be misinterpreted by the public. That there's an arrogance that they don't quite understand.
No, I think it is by the public, but I think managers, you want that bit of arrogance from players like him, because if you're going to win anything, your top players have got to come forward, and he's that one that when he's on fire, he knows he can do anything he wants in that middle, and I just love that, mate. I watched him in that 90 minutes, and I thought he was the one that really pleased me more than, even though I'm glad that we've gone back to the wide lads. I love the wide lads. Gordon, Mediocre, Saka, Rashford. In playing them four, they could win us the bloody cup if they all get the finger out.
I think as well for me, Neil, in the last 6-7 months, all I've heard is, from some people in the media, idiots, I might call them, Bellingham. No, look what Thomas Tuchel said. He's made other players feel like they can't play, the pressure he puts on them. I'm like, if you're a senior pro...
Rich says Battery Severa.
Oh, that's nice. Very good. Yeah.
Ever Ready Eze. Stuart in North East Scotland. That's very good. And Surge Protector Aguero. I mean, Surge Protector Aurier, I guess, works slightly better. But, you know, who knows what a Surge... I mean, I guess what a Surge Protector is, but not a battery expert.
The Duracell Surge Protector is excellent.
Yeah. Okay.
In my experience.
Max and Charlie with you till 1. Not really fair for other football stuff to happen while there's a World Cup, but Fulham look to be announcing Alvaro Arbeloa as their new manager, replacement for Marco Silva. Let's talk to Dan Cook from the award-winning Fulhamish podcast. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Morning, guys. How are we doing?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, really good. I mean, I was totally convinced that, you know, Kieran McKenna was going to take a short break and then just suddenly arrive at Fulham. We'll go, hey, that seems a bit fishy, guys. But, you know, so it's a separate story. It looks like you're getting Arbeloa. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. It feels like it's come out of nowhere. And honestly, it feels like a bit of a punt. I don't know. It's... We've seen recently, I guess, there have been managers who've come into the Premier League without heaps of experience, and it's not necessarily gone that badly wrong. But it always feels like it's a bit of a chancer's choice, this one, where there hasn't been a huge amount of option in the market to go out and get a manager who's got the experience, who you can feel comfortable that the floor of what they're going to do isn't going to be particularly low. This one, I'm not so sure on. There's definitely positives in there, but I'm worried about some of the downside potential with this one.
What are the positives?
I guess when you look at it, like, he has a good background in youth football, and he was very highly regarded at Real Madrid. You know, if they're going to give him the caretaker job, there's got to be some regard that he's held in Madrid, and that's definitely true. There's reports that he was earmarked as sort of their most successful ever youth manager, which is great. But I think there's plenty of people who haven't made that step up from sort of managing young under-21 footballers into sort of the proper professional men's game. I think his style of football, the way that he set up at Real Madrid, sort of suits our squad. You know, it's not a massive diversion away from what Marco Silva was doing. You've got that sort of 4-3-3. That's the makeup of the squad. And there were reports of, you know, links to Ruben Amorim at one point, and that would have been a big risk because we don't have the players who fit his preferred system. So I think that's a positive.
It hasn't stopped other teams hiring Amorim, to be fair, has it?
It hasn't, but you can see how it goes. You take a year to get all of the players in to fit that system, and then if you don't get the right ones, it just gets worse. And so I think there's a positive there that we have a team that is set up to play in that system. It's what we've been doing for the past 5 years. So I think that's a positive. And finally, I guess, young manager, fresh ideas. It had gone a little bit stale at Fulham, and we need someone to come in, and he's obviously got a huge opportunity to prove himself here. It was a weird 6 months at Real Madrid for him, some highs, some lows. You know, he's going to come in really motivated, and that's a positive as well.
Yeah, I brought it up about 6 months ago. No, probably like 3 months ago, that Silva was thinking of leaving and potentially leaving. Are you surprised they're not more organised, or do you think they thought they were going to get McKenna?
I'm not surprised, because I think we've been here as Fulham fans before. It's quite a last minute club, the way that it's run. Everything seems to be done at the last hour with a huge rush and quite a lot of panic. And I think the director of football came out last week and said that the day that Marco Silva left, which was a Tuesday, they had pre-written all of the social media material to announce that he was signing a new contract.
Oh gosh.
So I think that tells you where the club were, and this past week and a half has just been scurrying about trying to find some ideas, and they didn't have anyone lined up for this. And there was, reports of McKenna had been on the short list in previous seasons when it looked like Marco was going to leave. But other than that, some of the names, I don't think there was any continuity between the names. When you're looking at Amorim, Postecoglou, McKenna, Slot coming out of nowhere, there's nothing that links these managers. Arbeloa, they're all sort of, it seems like a random scattergun approach of who's available.
Is it silly to suggest that whoever Fulham get as manager, they'll finish 12th? Just whatever happens, that's just where they'll be? Or is that actually too positive? And that, there is always a risk, right? You've seen much bigger clubs than Fulham, fight relegation.
Not this season, I think.
I think there is some jeopardy here when you look at, I think particularly with it being the same summer that Harry Wilson's going to leave, that Raul Jimenez has left. There's a little bit of squad churn here, and there needs to be the right additions, and there needs a competent manager. I think ultimately the teams that have come up, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but there is a strong enough squad here that I think the floor of this squad isn't going to be 18th or 19th, but it's still a risk, right? And there were teams last season and the season before who probably felt the same as us. They looked at their squad, we've got good players, it should be fine. If you get a bad start, you're chasing the pack. I think ultimately we'll be fine, and 12th, I'd take it. But there was so much clamouring for Silva to leave because he hasn't been able to kick Fulham to that next level, that actually if someone comes in and puts us in the same place, it's going to be a little bit of a failure, because the whole approach here has been trying to drive Fulham to the next level, trying to get into Europe, maybe
which is hard, right?
Cup competition.
It's hard to be the 8th best team in England, right? Like taking that next step is a really difficult thing to do.
Yeah, and look, I think last season was par, and I'm never going to complain about par. We've jumped up and down the divisions. There have been prolonged periods in the Championship where it was tough, and I'm never going to complain about finishing 12th in the Premier League. But as an overall vision, I'm just not sure about this one.
Pochettino? Right. Would you take Pochettino?
It would have been great, but as I mentioned with the squad churn, I don't think we can wait until end of July, August to get a manager in. It does need to happen now, because you need the squad planning. And I'd hate for Fulham to be signing players that the manager doesn't want or doesn't have an input in, because we've been there before and it just gets messy.
Good stuff, Dan.
Sorry, you got to go.
Say again.
I'm saying Ange Postecoglou. Got to go.
Yeah, I'd love Ange back in the
big Ange. Fulham, I can see
I'd have taken Ange.
Yeah,
I'd have taken Ange. I think it would have been fun. It would have been fun. It would have been chaotic, but I think he's a very, very good manager, and I wouldn't have minded it at all.
Good stuff, Dan. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Dan Cook there from the Fulhamish podcast. I like the idea, Charlie, of me trying to politely end interviews.
I just keep shouting managers' names. It's a good idea, isn't it? Tony Pulis. Would you take Tony Pulis? Sean Dyche.
Gaz the Wolves fan from Telford. Hi, Gaz. I have an idea for a new game. How about we do talkSPORT midnight game show on Barry, like Michael McIntyre does, where you wake him up and he has to answer questions. I think it'd be good content. Straight in with a question, especially on YouTube. He says, I'll think about it. It's Max and Charlie with you until 1. This is fun. We exposed John Ketley as a complete give us the weather back. Honestly, that really made me laugh.
Charlatan.
Give us back the weather.
Give us back the weather. 30 years of weather. Stole it from us, John.
He's back on. He's back on in a second as we play What's All This Weather We're Having?
Just one quick domestic story. Being reported that Brighton have made a £30 million offer to Spurs to Luka Vuskovic, who had a brilliant season, was one of the Bundesliga standout players last year. I think the optics of this, with the ownership, everything that went on last season, would be very poor. I mean, apparently it's a £30 million offer, but I just cannot believe Spurs would sell Vuskovic. They might loan him, but they certainly won't be selling him. Because there is potential, and you don't want to get too much hyperbole, but this could be a generational talent that Tottenham have got, and 30's far too cheap.
It's a big call, isn't it? If you're Tottenham, because obviously they're bringing in reinforcements of their own. I think it's going to be a really busy summer, both in terms of incomings and outgoings. But this is a genuine offer from Brighton. I've not been told if it's been accepted or rejected yet. You would imagine it probably will be turned down. Not too many teams accept the first bid that comes their way. I think key. The player fancies the move. He fancies going to play for Fabian Herzl, who probably thinks he'll get more game time at Brighton, more of a pathway into the first team than he would at Tottenham. But you're right. I think the Spurs fans want to see him at some point in a Tottenham shirt playing week in, week out in the Premier League. So I'm intrigued to see how they respond to this offer.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Well, look, keep wearing the hell out of that hat and enjoy the game tonight, Crookie. Thanks for joining us.
Crookie. I will do. Cheers, guys.
Take
Keep
care.
up the good work.
It looks good. There's Alex Crook there over in Dallas, where England will play their first game against Croatia. Luka Vuskovic, who's almost certain to start. I mean, he brings the average age of the Croatian team down by about 60 years because he's 19.
It's true. Morning all, it is Max Rush and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT. Paul says a new national anthem, The Long and Winding Road.
Oh, that's
not exactly
nice.
uplifting, but very accurate. Be nice. But what about, we know this bridge over troubled water. I mean,
that's
got nothing to
lovely,
do with
isn't
England, does it?
The full Go Get It medley as the
full Go Get It medley would be great.
Maniac,
all those pouring for Greensleeves, and then My Old Man's a Dustman. I'd love that. She had a tornado just hit Kansas. We were speculating yesterday. Me and Barry, would Dan Burns' head stick out the top of the tornado? Let's look at the latest weather over the US, Mexico and Canada, all thanks to QuickFit.
US football forecast on talkSPORT with QuickFit, a team selection that everyone would be happy with this summer. QuickFit, drive away happy every time.
And John Ketley.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, leave it nice and loud. Up he goes. Yeah, let's have a bit of that. A bit of crowded house.
Hello, John Ketley.
Hello, John.
John,
morning, Max. Morning, Charlie.
Will this tornado take one of the smaller England players away? Will they just whisked away by the tornado?
It is a very stormy-looking scene. Going straight on to the weather, I have to say things are looking a little bit more angry today than they were yesterday. I'm looking at a radar picture. It's about 27 degrees now in Houston and Dallas. Mm-hmm. And some rain seems to be very close by to Houston. This is Germany's game, I think, isn't it, down in Houston?
Germany, Curacao.
Mm-hmm. And Dallas, that's another game which is going on, Netherlands against Japan. There's a risk of storms developing there, certainly by the evening. So a bigger risk, I think, today that we'll get some downpours coming along. Yesterday I talked about that band of heavy storms, which is from, it was Wichita. Who'd be a lineman in that part of the world?
Yeah, or a linesman. The Wichita linesman. No way.
Wichita linesman.
Darren Cann, the Wichita linesman. Yeah.
Well, Glenn Campbell didn't fancy it.
No.
I don't think. But those storms are still around. They're going up through Oklahoma City, and they're also going northeast up towards Montreal today and New York City and Philadelphia. So I think that would be my biggest concern today, that they've got some pretty heavy rain eventually getting up towards Philadelphia for the game that's going on there later on, which is the Ivory Coast against Ecuador. That's a crowd puller.
Be a good
could
game.
be a good game. Well, it could be a good game.
What time is it on? Is it the one? Is that an 11 o'clock or?
So hard. I'm working in 3 time zones, so I have absolutely no idea what time it is anywhere.
Very late.
That's what happens. Very late.
I'll be in bed. I know that.
All right, John.
Now, yesterday, John, you didn't perform well. What about all this weather we're having? But you've come back for more, John. It's a big moment. But there was some controversy, John, because Charlie and I had piloted the quiz on Wednesday afternoon. And some of the games were the same as
it feels like
that we'd had.
It's a null and void. Yesterday is null and void, John.
Yesterday is null and void. It's 0-0. Ketley versus me and Charlie. Let's bring in Love to Nigel Adderley.
Love to Nigel. Hello, Nigel.
Morning, guys. How are we doing?
Yeah, good. Thank you, Nigel.
Good. Yeah, love to Nigel. He won How Tall Are They? And now he gets to host game shows. He'll be hosting Tenable next. It's exciting stuff. So we're hoping, Nigel, we don't just have the same games as yesterday. But look, part of me would find that
we did
quite
in
funny.
The pilot this morning when the draw was made this morning, but we have managed to swap 1 or 2 things around.
Good news. Don't it's the same games all the time. It's just a disaster. Let's play the game.
Let's play the game. Here we go. There must be some music to flesh out this feature.
Oh yeah, it's weather report.
Okay,
weather report.
So if you weren't listening yesterday, Nigel Adderley gives us 5 games, great games from history with a bit of commentary, and John Ketley, professional weatherman, takes on me and Charlie at guessing the exact temperature in Celsius. Here we go, Nigel.
Yeah, game number 1 is actually 12 years ago today, the 14th of June, 2014. England 1, Italy 2. And it was in the Amazonian humidity of Manaus. Let's hear one of the Italy goals.
All right, okay. I reckon, Charlie.
It's Super Mario!
Okay. I reckon we should go first on some of these. We'll go first.
We'll go first. I think high 20s.
Yeah.
Maybe even a 30.
I've been there, and it.
What time was kickoff, please?
It was, goodness me, I was there. It was 8 o'clock in the evening.
Oh, no.
A balmy night in Manaus.
Yeah, 27. 27, please, Nigel.
You think 27?
Okay, John.
I'd have gone a bit higher.
Well, yeah, evening, but it wouldn't make much difference, would it? I was thinking upper 20s as well, but let's go for 28.
30 degrees Celsius.
Oh, I said 30. What an idiot.
1-0 to Ketley.
1-0 to Ketley. Idiot. Ketley 1-0 up.
Well, he knows his weather, Ketley.
It depends who goes first, doesn't it?
Well,
try and poke holes in the format, John.
Yeah,
please.
let's not deconstruct.
This could be huge
quiz.
for us all if this gets on telly.
Exactly. Richard Osman could commission this at any time.
Oh, John. Hello, Carol Kirkwood on the line. Yes, she's available, John.
She knows nothing.
Okay, let's go to game number 2. I would imagine that John was the only person alive when this game took place. 1966.
Oh, that's a bit personal, Nige. One person alive.
30th of July, was it?
Well,
John Ketley is responsible for repopulating the world.
The whole of the globe. John Ketley walking the earth alone.
Like dogs. Like all dogs are linked in their DNA to 2 wolves at some point in history.
Been accused of many things, but not this one.
The only one of the 4 people currently broadcasting on talkSPORT.
Okay, thank you, Nigel.
The 1966 World Cup final, England 4, West Germany 2, 30th of July, 1966.
Okay, John, it's you first.
Well, I remember the date and I remember the weather being quite nice. And I remember that the crowd were on the pitch. They think it's all over, but it wasn't. It was quite a nice day, but probably no more than 25.
I reckon I'd go lower, Charlie.
Well, I got it right and then wrong last time, so I'm going to leave this one to you.
24.
It's quite nice, a technical term, John. Doesn't feel like it's very weatherman.
Kirkwood would have given it.
24, yeah, 24. Okay, yeah.
There was heavy rain before kickoff, which dampened things down. It was 20 degrees Celsius.
Oh, it's 1-1. It's 1-1. Ketley in the mud.
Ketley in the mud. Just love this post-apocalyptic world where John Ketley is walking the earth with no other human life to interact with.
That was rubbish for me.
Anyway, here we go with temperature 3, Nigel.
Yeah, England against West Germany again, 1990 World Cup semi-final in Turin, the 4th of July, 1990, the evening of Gazza's tears.
Oh, God. 4th of July,
Turin. Didn't look that warm to me. It didn't look that warm to me,
They looked sweaty. They did look hot, though. 4th of July in Turin. What's that going to be?
20 through 24.
Oh, I think higher than that, Max.
Do you think
Maybe
higher
not
than
8 o'clock
24?
at night. No, maybe not. No, you're right. 24. Good one.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting because I remember having a barbecue in the rain in Hertfordshire that evening before the match. So
Well,
I didn't get that
I
one
expect
right
you had to have
either.
a few people round, John.
I didn't invite anybody for that, I'll tell you. But I
The
think
lonely
it's you,
Hertfordshire barbecue. Here we go. Yes.
all the storms are, they're away from the Po Valley, so I would say it was pretty hot, 27.
Have a word, Charlie. 27 degrees
Oh,
Celsius.
on the nail. Ketley. Look at that.
There's John Ketley.
Unbelievable. Back of the net.
His mind goes back to that Hertfordshire barbecue, and he could then just move. His whole brain could go to Turin.
The greats look like they've got time,
amazing,
Max.
isn't it?
They look like they've got more time than us, and then they get it spot on.
That's 3 points for a direct hit. It's 4-1 up. We're really up against it. Okay, temperature 4, Nigel. We need a.
Who would have thought that? Who would have thought half a century of expertise and study beats vibes? But there you go. 1998, round of 16 in Lyon. Sorry, Saint Etienne. My mistake. Saint Etienne, close to Lyon. England 2, Argentina 2. It was a evening kickoff, 9 p.m. local time.
John?
Who's going? Should I go first?
9 p.m.
Yeah,
Saint Etienne.
I don't think it was that brilliant, the weather that day. I think it was something like 23.
So great. It's a really good.
I feel like he's hit his stride.
Yeah.
Unless he's Googling while Nigel's reading. I don't know.
I don't think you can accuse John Ketley of cheating. I think we have to go one. I think we have to go one.
What did you say, John?
He said 23.
23. I think one higher.
You think one higher? Are you sure? Okay. It's up to you. 24.
Should have gone lower. 18 degrees.
Regals. This is awful.
I set the scene and then blew it.
You've done well.
No, it's all right.
John. You've done well. You get your closest. You get the point.
Yeah.
You're 5-1 up, so it's impossible for us to win.
You've won the game.
But we're playing for pride and the illegal betting markets overseas for the 5th.
And to try and keep Carol Kirkwood interested in the TV format.
Okay.
I'm just going to ring Carol now. See if she takes the final.
Okay. Final temperature.
Here's another game that John will be the only one in the world to remember. 1973 World Cup qualifier at Wembley. England won. Poland won. Brian Clough called Tomaszewski, the goalkeeper, a clown, but he knocked England out of the World Cup.
Tomaszewski did arrive in a car that all the doors fell off. And then
yes.
I remember that one. I was watching the game in a hotel in Coventry. You see, I've got fantastic...
Don't say any more, John.
Amazing at this, John. We all know what you were trying to do then. 6 years after 66, John.
Yeah, I'm just distracting everybody with this rubbish that I'm going out with. It wasn't that good an evening. I should think it's about 21.
I reckon we go lower, Charlie, for pride.
Yeah, I think so.
20.
9.
9.
And they say it used to be better.
It was 9 degrees in the old days.
9 in the old days. It was 9 degrees in the summer. Well, what a win, John. Let's play again next week if you don't mind.
I don't mind. No, I don't mind.
Great. If we can't get Karen, of course.
Good news.
Thank you so much, John Ketley. He is a weatherman. Very good at that, wasn't he?
Good at that, wasn't he?
That was all brought to us with the good people of QuickFit.
US football forecast on talkSPORT with QuickFit. Your car's star player you can always rely on this summer. QuickFit. Drive away happy every time.
I've really enjoyed John Ketley's reflections of where he was when any game was played. It's Max and Charlie with you till 1.
What about the World Cup? Is the US of A ready for the World Cup? I went out with producer Luke and assistant producer Joe in the streets of Lower Manhattan yesterday, and we kind of gauged the feeling. You lot ready for this?
I think the country will probably be most into it right in the group stage because that's probably when we're going to do the best, unfortunately. You know, I think there are great soccer towns in America. I'm not sure New York is one of them.
Not that much this year, to be honest. With the Knicks in the finals, I think that's taken the attention of the city.
It doesn't sound like they're buying tickets, so, I mean, only so much. Yeah. I mean, they're not really buying into it. Did they not sell out the first game? Is that what I heard?
I don't follow soccer that much, so no. And then as a person that lives here, it's going to be quite disruptive for us. So, you know, but hey, should be a good event, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it's at MetLife Stadium, so there's a lot of attraction there. You know, the Giants play there, the Jets play there, so there's going to be a lot of people flying in from overseas to check out the games for sure. Yeah.
So it's the biggest World Cup ever. Might it be the best World Cup ever?
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, right now it's just Knicks, you know, but we'll get to the World Cup when we get there.
Gotta watch some. Gotta support everybody.
Okay, and the USA are in it. Obviously, they're one of the host nations.
But we ain't gonna win.
No, who'll win it?
More likely gonna be Spain.
Yeah, probably. How's Birmingham, Alabama?
Hot, mosquitoes, a lot of loud talking people.
Birmingham, Alabama. Wow, as the song goes,
that's where you can say howdy y'all.
Howdy y'all. I'll remember that next time when I'm down in that part of the world. Do you think this place is ready for it?
Yeah, I've been around to a lot of the cities now, most of them actually, and they're ready. This is a little bit different here just because the Knicks are in the final.
It's not easy to follow in the footsteps of your idol, especially when he's Diego Maradona and your country expects you to emulate him. That was the burden Lionel Messi would carry on his remarkable World Cup journey. In 2006, a baby-faced 18-year-old Messi scored on his tournament debut in a 6-0 rout of Serbia and Montenegro, but Argentina would be knocked out by Germany. By 2010, Messi was the best player in the world and under pressure to inherit Maradona's crown. But again, it didn't go all that well. He didn't score a single goal, and for the second tournament in a row, Argentina would be knocked out in the quarter-finals by Germany. A year later, Messi was made permanent captain of his country, and the pressure ramped up further. Their last major honour had been the 1993 Copa America. Anticipation was off the scale in 2014, which was surely their year, right? Argentina battled to the final, but who was waiting for them? Germany, and they nicked a late goal in extra time. Messi had fallen at the final hurdle, and the golden ball was no consolation. By 2018, patience was wearing thin, but a disaster of a tournament saw Argentina finish second in their group and go out to France in the round of 16. This was never going to happen for Messi, but hope began to return. Messi lifted the Copa America in 2021, so going into 2022, the tension in Argentina was palpable. Messi and his team scraped through the groups and then got past Australia, the Netherlands and Croatia. France and this guy awaited in the final, and it was one of the great World Cup spectacles. Messi scored 2 as the game went the full distance, but when Argentina's winning penalty went in, Messi didn't run. He sank to his knees. All that waiting, the trials, the pressure, the anguish, he'd done it. 36 years after Maradona became Argentina's forever hero, Messi finally had fulfilled his destiny.
Yeah, it's the World Cup warm-up on talkSPORT. Max Rush and Charlie Baker here till 1. Brought to you with the good people of Arnold Clark. Buy a used car in their upgrade event. Get 2 years free servicing plus a chance to win the cost of it back this June. Matt in Al Sudia says, I have to say, Max and Charlie, an absolute delight was. It's 30 degrees here in Mallorca, but you could feel the tension amongst the locals during that particularly gripping quiz segment.
I like
joy.
Well
done. I really like it.
I like John Ketley becoming a really sort of big Lothario character. Which is good. Stuart from North East Scotland says, sounds like John Ketley has the memory recall required for leading a double life. Like he knew where he could say where he was immediately, no gaps.
That's what he says, 4th of July, 98. Ah, yes, a barbecue with Linda from Hereford and her annoying kids. I do like this. John Ketley's memory recall is quite extraordinary.
Really good. I wonder.
Can you remember that? Can you remember for, if I just say when England lost to Argentina in 98? Can you remember
98?
Yeah, what were you doing?
What would I do in 90? Probably just
what are you doing on talk?
Just at home.
Just at home.
Not much of a story, is it? I'm not going to get a book out of it, am I?
I was thinking about how boring my autobiography would be. As it's not the rags to riches, the moderately comfortable to still moderately comfortable story of a beige vanilla broadcaster.
Well, that is Michael Palin's diaries are woke up, was hugely successful, went back to bed every day. Woke up, had an idea, put it into action by the afternoon, made 10 million quid from it.
Anyway,
but read them; they're interesting,
Okay, I will.
Sounded jealous. I'm not jealous.
Netherlands, Japan. Who's not jealous of Michael Palin? What do you want me to do? Get on do a travel doc? We all want to just do a travel documentary. 6 months just on a lovely train.
Yeah, you are at the World. You are at the World Cup for 6 weeks. No,
yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
No,
I'm complaining.
Stop complaining.
Turn the show into a 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. show is ridiculous, isn't it? But anyway, let's talk about the Netherlands, Japan. It feels like the second game of two big hitters after Brazil, Morocco. Marcel van der Kraan, Dutch football expert, joins us. Hey, Marcel.
Hey, Marcel.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
So, look, what are
tournament favourites?
Tournament favourite. I don't know, but that scientist said that the Netherlands might win this tournament. I don't know how are you feeling on the eve of the Dutch entry into this competition.
Well, I think if we win it, we will save the octopus. But I think the octopus should be killed because of all his forecast. Because in many of the Dutch fans' eyes, it's the most ridiculous forecast because of everything that's gone off over the past few months. So many injuries, people dropping out, players hardly played in the Premier League side. Because don't forget, what we are fielding is almost like a Premier League 11.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to see where everybody is, and we will only find out probably tonight against Japan because Crescencio Somerville on the wing, he got relegated. Mickey van der Ven with Tottenham Hotspur in defence, only just escaped relegation with Spurs. Virgil van Dijk, Gravenberg, and Cody Gakpo not had the greatest season with Liverpool. We could go on. And then Bart Verbruggen got an injury, the Brighton goalkeeper, who was alongside, or in front of him is Jan-Paul van Hekken from Brighton. There's so many players with little nags and problems. Dumfries has hardly played this season because of an injury. It's a long list. So
it's a list of good names. It's a list of good names, Marcel. The names you're saying, they are Premier League players, but they're good Premier League players. And I know they've had not a great season, but do they all get on? Because that's what often happens for the Netherlands, question. Isn't it? Is that they don't get on, and then they fall out about 2 weeks in, and then that's the end of it. Are they a proper team?
You're right, and this is something. It's a good point what you're mentioning there, because most World Cups we travel home on different planes. You know that with the players.
Yeah.
But indeed, Ronald Koeman, the coach, he's experienced now. He's been in the job for quite a few years now with Holland. He has hammered on that. It's the team, the best team, and not always the most, skillful individual players, which Holland always had. The greatest strikers. We're built on a defence for a start. All our star players are more in the defence than in the attack. And Koeman has actually left a favourite of the Dutch not just out of the team, out of the squad. Joey Veerman was described with not quite having the right character to be in that squad. And he's a PSV Eindhoven playmaker, great passer of the ball. You know, you remember Arnold Muren, you know, in England. Arnold Muren is one of the biggest fans of Joey Veerman. And he had a great season, steered PSV Eindhoven to the championship. And Koeman says, no, I'm not selecting him. He's not in my 26. And nobody could believe it. But this is where it comes to the point where Koeman thinks, OK, I've got my starting 11. And then I've got the other, 14 these days. Is it now 15 these days? All of them need to give energy. And I can't have a player who will sit there with a long face, create havoc in the team, because that's happened before in the Dutch team when players not played. And this is where he thinks the emphasis should be.
Yeah, and that's a bit like Tuchel's doing with England. Now, there is this chance, Marcel, if the Netherlands are 1-0 down with 10 minutes to go, that you could bring on Wout Weghorst and Brian Brobby for the ultimate big man, hoy it into the mixer. And I got to say, Marcel, that will be my favourite moment of the World Cup if that happens. I mean, I think Brobby especially has had a brilliant season, brilliant target man. But I want to see Mickey van der Ven hitting a massive hoying long ball up to the head of Wout Weghorst and Brobby hammering it home. Proper total football, Dutch total football there.
Well, we all have this memory of that Argentina quarter-final, don't we, in the last World Cup, where Wout Weghorst came. We had that crazy free kick, and it all turned upside down. He fell out with Messi. Messi shouted and absolutely, abused him in the corridors after the game. And Wout does stir it on, yes, indeed. Brobby, it's a difficult one again for the Dutch fans, because when he was at Ajax, he never scored a goal, or maybe one or two. But and then when we saw him go to England, everybody thought, well, Premier League, Sunderland, Sunderland would play relegation football. Brobby's not managed to do it in the Eredivisie, which is like a Mickey Mouse league in the eyes of many. And then he turns it on at Sunderland in the Premier League against great defenders, and it was an absolute joy to watch. So yes, what you said earlier, you said there are big names, there are good names in that Dutch squad. And if they can get it together, if we can get Virgil van Dijk back to his best, and lead the defence and be that leader in the field, and Brobby brings it on, and Wout Weghorst. And to come back on your suggestion of we bring Wout Weghorst on, I wouldn't be surprised if we do get behind, we see Virgil van Dijk going up front as the second striker, because he has been absolutely instrumental for Ronald Koeman. And Koeman says, look, the amount of goals he gets with his head and the power and the physique. We have guys like Mickey van der Ven who can play one-on-one at the back when it comes to it. And Virgil van Dijk, in my opinion, is a much better extra striker than Wout Weghorst.
Play them as a three. Play them as a three.
Exactly. Big man, Marcel. Come on. It's what Johan Cruyff would have wanted.
Yeah, this is there's a good mention of Johan Cruyff there. We love our attacking football. We love the passing game. We like to play entertaining football. And Koeman is a bit more practical, because, of course, we all know that Cruyff had a couple of favourites. The guys who he really nurtured and who he was the mentor to, Pep Guardiola and Ronald Koeman. Koeman was once an experienced player at Barcelona. Cruyff knocked on his door in his hotel room in a training camp and says, look, Ronald, from now on, I want you to have a young player from our academy, La Masia. You have to look after it, because I think he's a really great player. He's tactically strong. And that was Pep Guardiola. Koeman took him under his wings. The two became best friends in life. And the two of them really bring the Cruyff philosophy out on the pitch, wherever they are. There's one difference. Koeman says, I'm slightly more practical, where Pep goes all in, all guns blazing, all the attack. He says, I like to keep one at the back. And where does that come from? When Koeman was a player, Cruyff wanted him to go forward all the time as a libero. He was a big libero. And remember, he scored an incredible amount of goals as a centre-half for Barcelona. But Koeman said, what I had to leave behind was always very vulnerable. And that's where Cruyff said, well, it doesn't matter if we concede 4, as long as we score 5.
Good stuff, Marcel. Well,
Thanks,
enjoy the
Marcel.
game. Japan are pretty good. It's going to be really interesting to watch. Thank you, Marcel. Good stuff.
Cheers, guys.
Marcel van der Kraan there, a Dutch football expert. Commentary of that game and commentary of every single great game on talkSPORT. But Netherlands, Japan, it's two great kits. It's exactly what you want from a World Cup game. And Japan, a lot of people, even without Mitoma, which is such a big miss for them, lots of people saying they are perhaps the best Japan side ever, perhaps the best Asian side ever. So it'd be really interesting to see what happens in that game. This is the warm-up on talkSPORT with Arnold Clark. Buy a used car in their upgrade event and get 2 years free servicing plus a chance to win the cost of it back this June. The footballer game next. You don't love the footballer game, Charlie?
I'm just not very good at it.
Okay.
But I'm happy to play it. I'm happy to be here, enjoying myself.
It's me v you v Kevin Hatchard. If one listener wants to play, 03717,
that's a good idea.
make it a four-way. 03717 22 make it a four-way by John Ketley. Why by John Ketley? What are you suggesting? 037 is post-apocalyptic. How is he meant to start the human race now when it's just him? How does that work? How's he? Who's impregnated? 03717 22 If you'd like to join me, Charlie, and Kevin Hatchard, I can be very good at this game in the footballer game. Do it right now. Locking on back in the UK, of course, and we're right across the lot. We mentioned earlier that Martin O'Neill has been installed at Celtic. Just in the passing, you pleased for him? 1 year deal, Simon?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think Martin, the only person that would have talked him out of that circumstance is Martin. So I think probably Martin would do a 1 with a rolling year. Yeah. So that puts him in a situation where you can see how he feels in a year's time. I don't even know why it was a conversation. I don't even know why it was a debate about whether Martin O'Neill should stay in place. I think it's the least they could have offered him. I hope they've remunerated him properly, and I hope that he continues to build on his legacy, because I like him. Now, obviously, I don't know where you sat on it. I think I know where you sat on it. Nobody wanted Celtic to win besides Celtic fans, because we wanted Hearts to win.
Well, that would have been the story, yeah.
Yeah.
But the Celtic story was a great one, too.
Martin did his job.
Yeah.
I mean, he did his job. He went in there and he galvanised Celtic. And so the discussion about whether Martin O'Neill should be given a new contract perplexed me. Besides the fact he kept on telling everyone how bloody knackered he was.
Actually, Brad Friedel's with us, as he will be here in New York. Brad, whatever happened to Wilfried Nancy? Do we know? He came back here with his tail between his legs, having been a major flop in his short time in charge at Celtic.
I'll tell you, it very similar. I came over here and I was the head coach of New England Revolution. I found it very difficult to go from the professionalism of the Premier League this way. I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was too stubborn to stay in my own professionalism. I wouldn't adapt to where the level of MLS was.
Steve Nicol was there for a while as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was there with, and then Jay Heaps and then myself.
And Paul Merritt as well.
I think what Wilfried did, he adapted to the US culture and he went over there. When you go to a club like Celtic and you hear his first interview, I don't care about the results, it's how we play. No. Results matter, and the fans will actually put up with you playing poorly if you're winning the matches for a certain amount of time. So I think he found that change going to that type of club very, very difficult. Yeah. With Martin, I played for Martin for 2 years at Villa. He's the boss. He knows what he's doing. When I first got there, it was the first time I had met him and knew him other than playing against him.
Afternoon, you are listening to the Warm Up on talkSPORT. Max and Charlie with you until 1. Let's play the footballer game. It's me v Charlie v Kevin. I think Kevin Hatchard's going to be good at this.
Yeah, well, he just said people think he'll be good at it, and then he isn't good at it.
This is the twist. I'm going to be terrible, so everybody's going to be bitterly disappointed.
I suppose it depends, Kev. You're European football expert. I mean, how's your EFL knowledge? You know, that's the thing.
Poor.
Like, it's poor, is it?
Played for Wigan in 1986.
Yeah.
Nowhere near it.
You're on after us with Pards and Majestics. It's hard to keep up with who's doing what. What's on your show later, Kev?
Loads of great World Cup chat, review, preview, the whole shebang. We're going to drill down into it for 3 hours. It's going to be marvellous.
Good. We've done all, by the way, we've done Australia, we've done Scotland, we've done the Netherlands, so you can't do those.
We've already done a lot of Brazil. You could probably do Brazil.
We did do a lot of Brazil. Yeah. You can do some England. We haven't really done a lot of England yet.
In many ways, do like clean slate.
We'll just do an hour on Ancelotti's eyebrow, right?
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, why not? And the fact he wore that suit in that heat and didn't sweat at all.
No.
Like, what a guy. He's amazing. Also playing is we asked for calls. We did get loads. And it does just. I just want to give the listeners idea that Gaz the Wolves from Telford isn't the only person that rings up this radio station. But he is the guy.
Here he is.
That is taking us on today. Hey, Gaz.
Hello, broadcasting legends. How the devil are we?
Very good, thank you.
Very good, thank you. Hope you're well. What's your record on this? You doing all right at this, the football game?
20th of November 2022, I got David Villa and Asamoah Gyan live on air. 29th of March 2026, I got Ali Adair. And 10th of April this year, I got Sebastian Schemmel.
Wow, he's like John Ketley.
He can't play anymore.
That's it. This is your last go.
This is your last one. Just for a bit. Let others have a go.
Gaz. Very good.
Just very quick on the phone, isn't he? Hosting the footballer game today. Anil Kandola. Hey, Anil, you good?
Hello, gentlemen. Very well. Happy World Cup season.
Happy World Cup to you.
Yeah.
Happy World Cup to you. Out of 10, how are you?
I've learned from my previous mistakes of going too high, so I'm going to go with a classic Reece lock about 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Classic Reece. Yeah. I mean, that's high for Reece, be fair, but you know. Okay, let's play. Here we go.
Right, okay, so starting with number 1, he started his career in 1999 to 2002 at ASEC Mimosas. Then he moved on to Arsenal in 2002.
Well, how many games did he play?
He didn't actually play any games there. He started
Mimosas.
No, it's not. So from 2002 to 2009, he played for Arsenal, where he made 225 appearances, scoring 9 goals. Then from 2009 to 2013, he went to Manchester City.
Gilberto Silva.
No, where he made
No.
Where he made...
what's his name?
It is...
Hatchard.
Get rid of him. Get rid of him.
That'll do me now. I'm happy with that.
You can put your feet up now.
Yeah.
One.
You know, all you need is one. Then it means you're going to have a great show. You're like 10 feet tall now. So there we go. It is Socrates, Gaz. Come on. Playing in 1984. This guy started in 1999.
There was Socrates that played for Arsenal.
Oh, was there one?
Socrates.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Well made.
Moving on.
Back yourself, Gaz. Here we go. So it is Kevin 1, Max 0, Charlie 0, Gaz 0. Here we go with player 2.
Right, with player 2, he started his career in 1997 to 1999, where he began his career at Olympia, making 24 appearances with 7 goals. From 1999 to 2007, he went to Bayern Munich, making 155 appearances, scoring 31 goals.
Owen Hargreaves?
My earphones not working.
Owen Hargreaves.
No, it's not. It's not Owen Hargreaves.
It's good, this, Gaz. You can't guess because Anil can't hear.
Yeah, okay. Moving on to 2007 to 2008, he spent 1 season with Bayern Munich's second team, where he made 6 appearances, 2 goals. Then from 2007 to 2009, he moved to Blackburn Rovers, where he made 57
Roque Santa Cruz.
It's 2-0 to
I'm not saying Hatchard is cheating. He is sat next to Anil, and Anil has it completely open on the desk in front of him.
Eyes.
There is zero trying to cover up what he's doing.
They've been forward this entire time.
There's a lot of cheating going on.
Video
pick that piece of paper up and hide it.
Then I can't see it.
You can see it.
Come on, Charlie. Charlie, this happens a lot when you are
video
not doing
evidence.
quiz. You accuse people of cheating.
They do cheat.
Kevin Hatchard knows who played 150.
He's never even been to Europe.
Munich. Exactly.
Yeah,
he's not even got a passport.
I haven't been past Plymouth.
Right.
It's true.
He actually led the Brexit campaign, didn't he? Hatchard, well known for that. Okay.
Shadowy figure. Yeah.
Right. It is Kevin. It's Kevin 2, Max 0, Charlie 0, Gaz can't guess because the Neil can't hear his guesses because he's got our headphones in. Here we go. I will forward them on, Gaz. Don't worry.
Email
them.
Here we go. Right, third and final one. This player started his career in 2005 to 2010. He played at Shimizu S Pulse, making 121 appearances with 42 goals. Then in 2011 to 2013, he moved to Stuttgart, where he made 63 appearances and scored 10 goals. From 2013 to 2015, he went to Mainz.
Shinji Okazaki.
I can't believe it. It's 3-0 to Kevin Hatch.
I can believe it. Who did these
person sat next to the person with a piece of paper.
No, that is unbelievable.
A waste of time, that was.
To be fair, I did commentate on old Shinji for
absolute waste of time.
I did commentate on him for a while. It's just because I'm
not
old.
It's not a waste of time, but whoever put these footballers together, bearing in mind that Kev was here, and you could have brought in some people who played, 100 times for Stevenage.
Yeah.
Really, it was made for Hatchard. But look, it's a great win.
Well done, Hatchard.
Well done.
Thanks,
Kev. Thanks, Gaz. Sorry, your
Thank you very much. See you later.
It was pointless, but thank you, Gaz. Even Gaz wanted to get off. He was like, leave me alone here. Thank you, Anil. Thank you, Kev. Enjoy your show later. It is Max and Charlie with you on the warm-up. We're here until 1. Pete's been in touch, Charlie.
Hello, Pete.
Yeah, really enjoyed that last interview. This is the Marcel van der Kran.
Oh, that's nice.
An intelligent, erudite Dutch football expert.
He was
having
good.
nothing to do with the notion of 5 big men up front, despite the urgings of a couple of puerile clowns trying to get him to bite.
Wow.
All right, Pete. It's just a nice idea to
I
have
don't
2
mind being
big
called
men
a
up front.
clown. I think clowns are important. People need to laugh, Max.
Yeah, but I
in this
refuse
day
the
and
fact
age.
we weren't trying to get anyone to bite.
No,
it wasn't
we
like
never get anyone
it wasn't
to
a
bite.
wind up. It was just a nice chat about football, Pete. But thank you for your feedback.
If we'd wanted to bite, we'd go, remember when we won 4-1 in Euro 96?
If you'd done that, I would have thrived. What?
Yeah,
That's a terrible attempt.
I hope it was like that. You don't turn up.
That's how bad we would have been if we tried to do clickbait. It was just Charlie going, remember that time we beat you, eh?
4-1.
It's just not designed to do it. But appreciate your time. Of course, Pete. It is Max and Charlie with you until 1. Guess the attendance with Justin Morehouse coming up. We'll do some boxing in just a second.
What is interesting there, I think, is that Bellingham is saying the group didn't connect as well as it could have done. Why is he saying that?
As a deflection. Listen, every player knows where they stand. I'm going to give a story, but I'm not going to say the name of the player because that would be wrong. But I will say it was Martin O'Neill because he won't mind me saying this.
Okay.
So you'll get enjoyment. There was a player who came into the Aston Villa changing room, and he was like, "I need to talk to the manager." And us as players were like, "Yeah, you got to go talk to him. You got to go talk to him," because we knew kind of how it was going to go. So he bursts in there and he knocks on the door and he's all bold and brave. And then Martin O'Neill goes, "What? How can I help you?" And he goes, "I need to know where I stand." He goes, "You haven't played for me and kicked the ball for me in 3 months. You know exactly where I stand. Now turn around and get out of my office." Players know where they stand. If you're starting, you know where you stand in the manager's eyes.
Yeah.
If you're a substitute, you know that the manager does like you, but maybe he thinks in formation or whatever, that's something else. If you're not playing, you know also exactly where you stand.
The memo's clear. I mean, the interesting thing is that it's you get an insight into the psyche of a player, but the most important thing is the follow-up question to what he says. And there isn't the follow-up question. There's just a one-way transaction of we needed to feel loved, we needed to feel, in a certain way, and we didn't connect together, and perhaps we didn't celebrate wins as much as we should have done. Well, there's a real, that's the nature of the beast. That's the society that we live in. Sometimes things are taken for granted, and it's the criticism that comes more readily than the praise. But if you're a team, do you want to be in a big team that has expectations of you? Do you want to play for a big club like Real Madrid that has expectations of you? I would imagine he'd spend more time complaining about playing for Real Madrid and the expectations upon him as a Real Madrid player than he would playing for his country.
Right.
And the challenge to that sort of question should be, Well, what is it you expect of a manager? What is it you expect of people that are supporting you? Because you are lauded and applauded and revered.
Yes.
I think it's to do with a lot of... I mean, you heard rumours coming out of that camp last in the Euros about who didn't want to do press conferences, who didn't want to come up for this, who didn't want to come up that. Harry Kane apparently had an issue about Jude Bellingham not doing enough public appearances and all that sort of stuff. That might be gossip, and some of that might be right. But that should not be an insulation.
Good afternoon. It is the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Charlie with you until 1. How does a dartboard? How is a dartboard rank? Is it sort of like...
Well, they're made of different things, aren't they, I suppose? I don't know. Don't really know. Wonder why it would be... Maybe they got one out of an old pub somewhere that had been shut down.
So? Just sort of rank... Just rank to me implies wetness. And I just can't imagine a dartboard being wet mess.
You're on your own. You're on your own in a hotel room. I think we should move on.
How dare you, Charlie? How dare you? I was just speculating. Anyway, Tommy Fury beat former World's Strongest Man winner Eddie Hall last night.
Yes.
In an exhibition fight. Let's talk about that and talk about his upcoming fight. Ryan Garner joins us, former British Commonwealth and European Super Featherweight champion. Hey, Ryan, you okay?
I'm all good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah,
really
good. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
so, like, is this fight last night? And you will learn in the next 5 minutes, Ryan, that I'm not a boxing expert. Is this a real fight? If the World's Strongest Man is in it, I find the line is quite blurred between when I'm meant to take a fight seriously or not seriously.
I'll be honest. I haven't even watched the fight. I've seen a few clips of not just that fight, but other fights that I think were on the undercard. There's a bit of a pantomime on it, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Not proper boxing, is it? But listen, it gets everyone talking. It's entertaining for not your boxing fan, but to your average Joe, it's entertainment in it. You see all these in the build up to the fights, they're obviously throwing digs at each other. It's more it's not for the boxing fans, that kind of boxing, is it?
It's the misfits boxing, isn't it? I mean, I watched some of the fight and Tommy Fury sort of ran around the ring away from Eddie Hall quite a lot. really, and Eddie Hall is absolutely enormous. So I'd run around out of the way of him to not get caught. But he did win on points, and he's beaten KSI before and Jake Paul. Is he held up by people like yourself, legit fighters, still as a legit fighter?
Yeah, I think you can tell by if you say you watch someone like myself who's going to be fighting at world level, who's won a British title, won a European title, and then you go and watch that kind of misfit and watch Tommy fight. Like, listen, he seems like a nice bloke in that, but there's levels. Do you know what I mean? He's not. I wouldn't say he's a proper boxer. Like, if he come at he's doing the right thing. Obviously, he's got a good name through this misfits boxing.
Yeah,
he's fighting the likes of people like Jake Paul. This lot, I think that's his level. If I'm honest, mate.
Yeah.
I don't think if he come up against any proper boxer who is even British level, he wouldn't even live with, mate.
So do you think it's good for boxing? Like, because, people are talking about it, it gets people interested in the sport. Do you see it as good for boxing, or is there a sort of purist part of you that's just like, there are some of these fights just shouldn't really be happening?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's good for boxing. I wouldn't say it's really bad for it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, because people who follow real professional boxing, they know that it's a bit of a pantomime. Do you know what I mean? So they don't even put them in the same bracket, if I was so to speak. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't really think it makes much of a difference to the normal boxing world, mate. Because most hardcore boxing fans and people who watch boxing day in day out, they know that it's a completely different level. It's just to sell shows and that stuff.
I suppose what they could, what legit boxing could learn from things like Misfits is how to sell the show, how to get people interested, how to get specifically young people interested in the fight game, Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, they know how to keep get people watching them, if you know what I mean. Like, because let's be honest, their boxing, it doesn't really do. People ain't going to tune in just for their
boxing, the fight. No.
For their boxing ability. Do you know what I mean? It's the whole pantomime around it and the stuff that's going on behind the scenes that makes people tune in. And like you say, but a lot of real boxers, elite boxers, they're just fighters, really. At the end of the day, they're not really all for this pantomime stuff. They train their ass off. They dedicate their lives to it, and then they get put on a show. Do you know what I mean? They fight, two people go at it, but there's respect there at all times because, like you say, at the elite level of boxing, all fighters have got respect for each other. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I suppose the question is then, do you look at your career like this going, I would never go near that? Or if somebody says, look, we'll give you 50 million if you go in a ring with Mr. Motivator and, someone who advertised Sillet Bang. And would you go, well, I'd probably have to do it? Or do you just go, I'll worry about that when my career is not at the level it's at now?
Money talks, isn't it? If I'm honest.
Yeah. Your prize fighters.
Yeah, like you say, it's a hard old game, boxing. If I can make as much, and I got two kids, 3 and a 1-year-old. I want to give them the best future possible. So be it if I've got a fight, complete Mickey Mouse or anyone like, do you know what I mean? Anyone who's not fighting, as long as it makes people tune in and it draws a lot of attraction and brings a lot of attention to my name and financially it's beneficial.
Yeah.
Then of course I'd do it.
You are fighting next.
Here's a question,
next
right?
Saturday.
Hang on, sorry, Charlie. I've got. This is a big. You've got a 3 and a 1-year-old, right? And I have a 4 and a 1-year-old, and I am exhausted. I'm older than you, right? I'm like people at the playground think I'm occasionally the granddad, but like that's fine. I can cope with that. How many before a big fight? Got a fight next weekend. How many nights do you spend? Do you spend the night before the fight at home with the kid, or like how many nights do you go to a hotel and say, listen, I have to get some sleep? Because you can't have a fight the night after. I don't know if your kids are sleeping through, but there's just no way you could do a proper fight the night after a normal night with a 3 and a 1-year-old.
Nah, to be fair, this is the first ever time I think when I've had a fight that I've been at home still, if you know what I mean. Because normally,
right.
You say my fights are normally either in like London or my last one was in Ireland. Like I'm away from home anyway, so I'm not really around them. But this time, obviously, I'm fighting in Southampton, so I ain't got to go nowhere. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I've got to go to a press conference in London or away in or whatever. So I'm not staying away. But I think still, because like you say, I got a 3-year-old and 1-year-old. Like this morning, my 1-year-old was up at 4:30 in the morning. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that ain't ideal.
Can you roll over and say, I've got a fight later, I've got work later, or your missus just says, work is time off. Work, you do this one because I've got to do it.
Nah, yeah, but Yeah, so that was, I think last night, well, it was, we normally take it in turns, me and my missus, but so last night was the last time, and then obviously the fight week now, she knows it's crucial, so she'll be getting up with the kids. But even though it's close to home, the fight, I've been offered a hotel room anyway, so I think Thursday, Friday, Friday, I'm gonna take that opportunity, mate, while it's offered to me, and make sure I get enough rest and sleep as possible.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't have a fight, if they were offered a hotel, just say, I just need one
why
night.
not?
I'm so tired.
Are you a Southampton fan, Ryan? Is this a big deal for you?
Massive, mate, massive. I'm not sure if you followed my career, but massive Saints fan. I'm well in with the club, mate. I'm an Saints Foundation ambassador.
Oh, brilliant.
Always been like I say, I'm always at the club, and they've been a massive credit, mate. The club they've really looked after me. They really got behind me. So I think for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I'd say they've really got behind me, pushing me each fight.
Brilliant.
So yeah, I'm a massive Saints fan. Always have been. Like I say, it's the biggest attraction in the city is the football club, really. So if you're from Southampton, you're not a Saints fan, I don't know what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it must be amazing to fight at St Mary's for you.
If you ain't, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. So fighting at St Mary's is brilliant for you, right?
This is what I still, even now, I keep saying it. I still got to pinch myself. Like, it's just mental. Like I was saying, like 6 years ago, I was potentially going to walk away from boxing before I got with my now fiance. I had 2 kids. I was going to walk away from boxing. I wasn't really enjoying it. I wasn't really like living the life of a professional. And then obviously we got together. Then my life changed. Obviously, I've got 2 kids now. I'm well in with the club. I'm rubbing shoulder. I put a post the other day. I'm rubbing shoulders with people who I used to look up to in this, but like I was with Jay Beattie, Matt Letizia, Ricky Lambert. Do you know what I mean? Like these are my idols growing up.
Yeah.
On a regular occurrence, I'm rubbing shoulders with them. So it's like it's still, I'm forever like pinching myself like what's going on, mate? Do you know what I mean? I'm just little old me. Like I feel just like your normal bloke, and now I'm rubbing shoulders with these. They're idols in the city. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, every Saints fan idolise these people. Would love to be in their company, and I'm in their company a lot of times. Do you know what I mean? It's not just like a one-off occasion. Like I see them a lot, if you know what I mean, and they've become friends.
Great.
Tell us about the fight then, taking on
Michael Magnesi.
Yeah, massive fight. As I said, like I say, massive Saints fan. There's never been a boxing event ever at St Mary's Football Stadium. So to be the first person to have an event there and box there, it's just. I'm lucky. I'm blown away by the support. Like everyone from Southampton, the amount of people who's. Like I was running down Western Shore yesterday. It's like the shore where we were. So I was running along there. People were like older, but older, like in their 60s, 70s, like. Oh, good luck next weekend and also like just like older people, like loads of people, just wishing me well. And people I don't know from Adam, it's just, I'm blown away from by the support. I'm blown away by it. And I'm just looking forward to becoming Southampton's first ever world champion. I'm fighting a tough fighter, Michael Magnesi. He's a really good fighter. He's very strong. He's fit. He's in your face. It's going to be a hard night's work. But the way I've been feeling in the gym and how confident I am in my ability, I just know there's nothing that's going to stop me, especially in front of my home fans, becoming Southampton's first ever world champion and making history.
Excellent. Sounds brilliant.
Every text is about Spygate. It must have been, I don't know how you felt about it, Ryan, how you feel that Southampton have stuck with Tonda Rekha, because he's clearly a brilliant coach.
Yeah, like I say, there was a lot of backlash when the club's been getting a lot of stick from other fans from other clubs. Yeah, even like now, even my post, like Queensbury put a post out about my fight coming up, and then people was like, you see the comments on there, people like, oh, I hope he's not spying on his opponent, or this, like, like, obviously I don't really care about that. Listen, it's a shame what happened to the club. I was looking forward to, obviously, going to the playoff final, because I was supposed to go there to Wembley. But I'm a big believer in if it happens for a reason. It didn't happen, but it was a big... a black cloud over the club. A lot of fans were going against Tonda. They didn't want him in no more. But then the club come out. Dragon done a press release, and then Tonda done a press release. They come out and said, look, apologise for everything that happened. And obviously, and now all the fans got right behind him again, and it seems like there's a real buzz around the club again. So even though what's happened, we've got to forget about it now and just focus and move on to next season. And hopefully I can be the kickstart the season for Southampton. I'll be the first, before obviously the season starts, to bring glory back to Southampton and get the club and the fans and everyone back on a real buzz again, real high. And then, and then we can just push forward and just worry about next season.
Well, look, thanks so much for coming on, Ryan. We wish you the best of luck next week in your fight. Thanks.
Good luck, Ryan.
Thank you. Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me on here.
Good man, Ryan Garner there. Fighting Michael Bagnesi at St Mary's next Saturday. God, 3 and a 1-year-old. Can you imagine that? I've got work later.
You've got to look after the three of the 1-year-old, or you've got to go and get punched in the face for a living. It's a tough one.
That actually is a difficult question, isn't it? It's the doer. My 1-year-old currently, Charlie, has hand, foot, and mouth. I've told you this, haven't you?
Yes.
And then Ian, so that's Willie Rushden. Ian Rushden didn't seem that well when he went to bed. I'm like, God, this can't happen.
And you're
first week I'm away. And every time I have to do posting Instagram, it's always sunny. I'm trying to find the darkest, grimmest bit of West Hollywood, just so when Mrs. Rushden sees it, looking as sad as I possibly can.
I'm hating this.
Yeah, this is awful. I'd rather be in the week, Oh dear. Anyway, I enjoyed that. He was good, wasn't he?
He was really good, wasn't he?
I like what he said about the nonsense boxing, which how many to get in a ring, Charlie?
Yeah.
What's your price to get in a ring? You've got to fight an actual person who can punch. How much do we have to pay you?
I don't know really. I think
6 rounds. 6 rounds. It's obviously
if I get knocked out first round, do I still get all the money?
Yeah, no.
It's basically how much to get knocked out.
It is
and hope that doesn't affect you for the rest of your life.
Long term, it seems like a bad idea.
So you're looking for legacy money, really, just in case.
I'm rescinding the offer.
Okay.
Because I don't want that to happen. It's Max and Charlie with you. Guess the attendance next.
For you, Carl, obviously playing right back, you would have played against these two guys, and we don't quite know which one will start, and that's Anthony Gordon and Marcus Rashford on that left-hand side. Now, you've played against both. I'm not going to say which one's better, but what differences are there between the two, and what makes both of them as good as they are? Obviously, Rashford being at Barca, Anthony Gordon just got the move to Barcelona. What are the differences between the two?
I think that just says it there. There's not really much with one team signing them both, and wanting to take them because they fit the personality that they want to play the game at. I think, listen, they're both extremely quick players, and they both got an eye for goal as well. The main thing is that I feel that in tournaments that I've played in previously to this, there's not been many other goals than Harry Kane, and that's what we need to find. And as having one of them on the pitch, with Bakaya or Noni on the other side, I think they need to bring some goals into it.
The fullback situation. Reece was a little bit more reserved last night than O'Reilly. O'Reilly, we know he's a midfielder that plays left back. He's an 8 that can be a 10. He's incredibly talented. I mean, you'll know all about him, right? Reece, I felt, was a little bit more structured to his game. And maybe that's because of his hamstrings. Maybe they're managing that. I know at Chelsea they've had to manage that because there is some fragility in and around there. How important is that, though, that Nico O'Reilly does that job on that side? Because his link-up play is exceptional. He really is a major talent.
I think you can't take that away from Nico. What he's done at Manchester City and arriving in the box in areas that you don't expect a left-back to get into just shows what he does offensively. But I think Reece James played a very intelligent game last night. From watching it, he managed himself really well. You don't need to peak now. Reece James needs to peak in the knockout stages. Please God, England get to that, and that's when we'll see the best from Reece James.
Did you hear about Nico O'Reilly coming through when you was at City? Because for me, it felt like he just came from nowhere and exploded. Did you hear about him? Because you always hear about whispers in the youth team about, have you seen him coming through? Did you hear much about Nico O'Reilly before he made
Yeah, of course you see him, you train with him. You train with him when the kids come up and they train with you. You know, Nico was always up there, but did I expect for him to do what he's
Do you want some feedback, Charlie?
Yeah, if you like. Yeah, no worries.
talkSPORT presenter asking if Ryan Garner, as a Saints fan, is utterly embarrassing.
All right.
Clearly done no research whatsoever. Amateurs.
Sure. Sorry, I don't know about every single boxer.
Sorry,
we have
just
on.
calm down, everybody.
Everyone's so
it was a
angry,
nice
aren't
chat
they?
with a nice. It was a nice chat.
We had a nice chat with Ryan Garner. But it's also, can I just say, you know, some listeners won't know that Ryan is a Southampton fan.
If you don't know that,
so you can ask the question as the presenter that some listeners will want the answer to.
Yeah.
Do you not think?
Well, frankly, I was embarrassed. I almost stormed off. I was embarrassed.
Were you? Okay, there we are. Well, thank you, anonymous person.
Thank you, anonymous. It's just don't worry. It was a nice chat.
Amateurs furious. Why don't you know absolutely every single thing ever about every single sports person?
Love to text. Love to text the word amateurs to someone. You amateurs, lazy, do better. So guess the attendance today. Top comedian Justin Morris takes on top comedian Charlie Baker. Welcome, Justin.
Justin would know that.
Yeah, of course he would.
About Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's a Southampton fan ambassador, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He is, yeah.
I don't know if you've seen his matches that they sing or when the Saints go marching in when he walks on.
One song. They've only got one song.
He's got a tattoo of Francis Benali on his chest, of course.
That's nice.
How are you, Justin?
He's got 1976 tattooed on the back of his neck.
He does. How are you, Justin?
How am I? You know what? What a question to answer.
I know.
I'm all right. You know what I am? I'm World Cup crazy.
Are you?
Are you World Cup?
Staying up late for it, or?
Well, I am. Do you know I had a very fond memory the other day because the last time I was so excited about the World Cup. My daughter, who is just 21, it was during the Brazil tournament and the semi-final. Spoiler alert! If you've not caught up on that World Cup yet, and Germany absolutely trounced triumphed in the semi-final. And she would get up in the morning when she was kind of like a primary school kid and watch the highlights with her breakfast. And it was a lovely thing to do.
Lovely, yeah.
And so she would come downstairs and she just looked at this game and just looked at me and went, "What?" She couldn't believe it. And then last night at 25-3, I got 3 texts off her because Aruba had not turned up. And so she kept booking new ones on my account and I'm 75 quid down.
Wow.
So there's the difference.
There's
nice, the circle of life.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, this is an interesting guess, the attendance. And I think there'll be some complaints. But because it's a bit of a shot in the dark, international football. And you did call for some EFL last week, but I can only do what's in front of me, Justin. So we begin on the 19th of November, 2025. Jamaica 0, Curaçao 0. Curaçao qualified for the World Cup. Independence Park in Kingston, Jamaica. Ivan Barton of Salvador refereed the game. He sent off Mr. Russell during this game. But how many were there at Independence Park in Kingston? Justin?
Before we actually start.
Yeah, we've got 3 minutes left to do this.
It doesn't matter because we all get it done.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to you in your bedroom now like you're catfishing me or something. And you've ignored the fact we're in the midst of the world's biggest sporting competition.
Yeah.
Where attendances are the main topic of conversation.
It's because it's £1,000 a ticket. Yeah. $1,000 a ticket, sorry.
So the Kingston against Curaçao, I'm going to say 20,000. I have no idea whatsoever.
Oh, I think more than that. 20,001.
35,000.
I was going to say 28, 29.
Okay, now we go to the 8th of June this year.
Charlie does winter in the Caribbean.
It is true, isn't it? We go the 8th of June last week. The Stade Pierre-Mauroy in Lille, France's last game before coming over there. France 3, Northern Ireland 1, a hat-trick for Michael Elise. Sasha Stegemann of Germany refereed the game. But how many were there to see off the French before they came to this side of the world?
What a hat-trick as well. What a hat-trick it was. Really brilliant. I'm going to say 75,000.
75,000, Justin?
You say 75,000?
That's too many, isn't it? It's too many, isn't it?
It does sound
a lot. Too many. It's a lot too many, isn't it?
But it would have been a full house. I'm gonna showboat because I think I know. Okay. Is it Stade de Lille or something?
It's far too.
It's Stade Pierre-Mauroy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 60,000.
43,272.
Yes,
72.
Stupid. Seen that in Champions League games. It's not that big. It's not the.
Let's go to
France.
Inter & Co Stadium, Orlando, England 3, Costa Rica 0. Declan Rice, Anthony Gordon, and Ollie Watkins with the goals. Katya Koroleva of Russia refereed the game. But how many were there to watch England beat Costa Rica, Justin?
Where was this?
It was in the Inter & Co Stadium, Orlando. Yeah, it was in Florida.
Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it wasn't. It was half. It looked about half full, didn't it? 30,000.
30,000. Charlie?
I'm going to say less.
Kind of weird.
29,999.
25,500.
2-1.
2-1 to Charlie.
A crazy 29.99.
I think this is a 6
I thought Charlie said I was behind a lady in the post office.
Yeah.
And you know how people spend too much time in the post office. I did 6 transactions in 3 minutes, but this woman was sending a shawl, and she kept going, "It's going to Devon, to Devon." Like the woman would deal with it differently in the post office in Stockport. Oh, to Devon. And that was bringing Wells Fargo in.
Special bag.
Put it in the Devon box. USA 4, Paraguay 1 at the Sophie Stadium,
Paraguay.
Los Angeles. Group
Paraguay,
D of the World Cup.
Team of Uruguay.
Danny McAlely, of the Netherlands refereed this game. But how many there to watch the USA really make a statement? They were brilliant.
What was the stadium, Max?
LA Stadium.
LA Stadium.
Just down the road.
Oh God, I don't know.
We're
go again. I'm going to go again high. I'm going to go 70,000.
70,001.
70,492. It's 2 apiece.
80-0
Scotland won.
That was so close.
At the Boston Stadium, I just need quick guesses here. Mustafa Gorbal of Algeria refereed the game. But how many there to watch John McGinn score the only goal of the game?
65,000.
65,000, Charlie.
It was definitely full.
64,999.
64,146.
Boom, the winner.
Justin 2. We play again next week. Thank you, Justin.
Quality.
Thank you, Charlie. Have a lovely day. Thank you, Arnold Clark. Bye, everybody.
First player I've gone for Neymar.
No, mate, honestly.
What do you mean? Don't start. I'm giving Neymar a free roll as well.
Mate, Neymar, the most overrated footballer of his generation. I'm not having it.
Condi, don't.
No, I'm not having it.
Don't,
no,
I'm a big Neymar.
No, he
doesn't overrate.
He does. The most overrated footballer of his generation.
Oh my God. At Barca.
No, not having him. Not having him. Not having him. No, not having it. Nope. That's the music stopped.
Condi, please,
no.
mate.
No, not Neymar.
Who's a better player? Neymar.